Hey everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have a very exciting match today in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Standard Tournament. This is rockchalk versus Volc in the lower bracket round 5. Tracking today you have myself and procrastinator AT, and on commentary we have Hyper and Out of This World Burrito, and they will take it from here.
All right, thank you very much, baseball. Good morning, everybody. We're back at Zelda Speedruns for a lower brackets match. It's going to be a hot one. What do you think, Hyper?
It is, yeah. We're getting deep into this tournament. Losers bracket round 5. I had a look at the bracket. There's only 8 races left in this tournament, so we're getting into the deep end now. So it's going to be a pretty spicy race, I think.
Yeah, especially since the winner will go to losers quarterfinals and have to play against Zavi, who is murdering it in uppers, so they got sent down here. But Volc's been looking pretty good since the beginning. While they lost their first match in winners to Sponge, they've won 4 matches in lowers since then, and they just recently defeated Aeronaut, who's not on the stat screen right now. But pour that one out. But let's talk about rockchalk, because you actually commentated the last match rockchalk was in. Now, he was sent to losers and quarters finals by Marco. But since then, he's defeated a lot of strong runners, like in winners, and then he defeated Drunus most recently, where he admitted to some routing mistakes when it came to the Seas of Logic. But he actually won by doing the opposite of what you did in your last match, which he pushed 20 skulls sooner, getting strength 3, which cracked the seed open. So I don't know if we're going to see a similar play from him today. It'll probably depend on how the logic turns out. What do you think?
Yeah, rockchalk's been, I guess, one of those dark horse seeds, coming in at seed number 30. But as you mentioned, in winners bracket, taking out some really big names, dropping down to Marco and then taking out Drew. So yeah, rockchalk's no one to be messed around with. I'd be on my toes if I was Volc.
Oh, absolutely. And so, speaking of on our toes today, we have an interesting start with Shadow Medallion being the free, Saria Song, and we're starting as Child, so we're going to see the random Child spawn very soon here. But Shadow Medallion is an interesting start because, as a reminder, in Season 8, our bridge requirements to Ganon's is Shadow Medallion, Spirit Medallion, and Light Arrows. So we're already 1/3 of the way there. Depending where Light Arrows are and where Spirit Medallion ends up, we could see an early Ganon's Castle this seed.
We could. There's always scary early Ganon's Castle, because usually early game you don't have all the items to full clear the area, so you typically don't want it to be open until later in the seed. So depending on what our Spirit Medallion is, we might have early access, just like you said. So let's see where we drop here with our Child spawn. Starting
looks like
in a minute.
Potion and Kakariko. I think I'm ahead of you. I'm in the future.
Oh, I might refresh.
Do it. It's okay. You're just mixing in pickup rupees and getting a junket.
Oh, that's the most exciting part of the run.
That free grotto's free, though, so we can't complain. Yeah. It looks like rockchalk and Volc are going to start going for Cuckoos immediately, which you're back here, so might as well do it.
Yeah, I think this makes the most sense. Just get chickens done out of the way. You can finish off checking the Skull House afterwards, and then most likely head to Ranch, get the song.
What's up, Chuckles? Chuckles in the chat, obligatory reminder to go watch listen to the Gossip Stone podcast if you haven't already. Hopefully Andrew's got something good. Joke. Is it passive aggressive? I mean positive. I really enjoyed the last episode. Andrew is, wow, Kokiri's sewing on the second check of the seed. Alright, Child's off to a sprint. It looks like we're gonna go check skulls.
Yeah, so this is interesting now, because like a lot of players don't like the walk to Lost Woods, but you've got some added incentive with that Kokiri sword to go and clear a dungeon nice and early, and 50 skull bomb bag as well.
Yeah. What was on 40? Oh, 50. This is 50 bombs. The other 2 were dead.
I think it's just 50, yeah. Usually, like, most players won't really be too worried about a 50 skull bomb bag, even if it is first logical. You can usually find a way around that.
I've seen a few Cs recently where it was in logic to find just even hammer first before you get your first bomb bag. So there's a lot more options than just that.
Definitely.
But to be fair, that would be a hilarious 50 skull. but we're gonna get some more information from Market here as we check Fools. So they'll maybe give us some more information. Hopefully. I think getting the hint that inside Ganon's castle is dead would be pretty huge. If we don't get that, it's going to be in the runner's mind the entire time with the Shadow Start, I think.
Yeah, that'd be comforting to get. It looks like Volc might be thinking about just checking the Foolishes first before continuing to ranch, which I kind of like this, especially if you're thinking about heading to the Lost Woods region. Knowing your Foolishes might be nice.
Oh, absolutely. And some runners have attributed this season to being so powerful in terms of foolish hints. Like getting those 3 right there have made a lot of informed decisions. Other runners don't worry about it, but it looks like it's Gerudo's Fortress. Sacred Forest teaches Minuet, Gerudo Valley, and Jabu Jabu. So Valley and Fortress dead. No one's going to be wanting to head over there.
Damn. Poor Gerudo area. So dry today.
Yeah, they haven't had rain for a while. All right, we get 2 other checks going on here with Talon and Child Shooting Gallery. Wow, and a shield. Sick.
Free shield. The wrong kind.
Chuckos are arming children today.
And nothing on child shooting today.
Nope. Okay, Malin, give us something good. Teach us a good song. Maybe a warp? Not quite.
Oh, that's not fun. I don't like that.
No.
I never liked that song early.
Why is that?
It just means GTG is now available at any point. So, and not, like hookshot can be like in one of the early checks in GTG or something useful, and there's not a lot of incentive to go there early.
Good point. Yeah, with so much dead over in that region.
Yeah,
it's not great. Of course, rockchalk checking the silo before leaving, so we'll get one more peek here. Is it good? Nope.
No good.
And he's gonna walk out of here, probably go to market, do what Volc just did, so runners are just gonna, as some people like to say, high five when they're switching positions. Getting out of here. They're in the same spot. I've heard a lot of different ways people like to say being in the same spot at the same time.
Yeah, what else have you heard? High fives. I'm familiar with high five.
I've heard high fives, holding hands. I've said sharing a brain cell, but maybe that's a little bit too much. In the bathroom at the same time, just a chance meeting.
I thought that would be more like both places doing toilet at the same time.
Yeah, we could call that sharing stalls. Fist bumping. Oh yeah, I've heard fist bumping. That's true.
So rockchalk is gonna head to Lost Woods and beat Deku Tree. So this is nice because you don't really have to worry too much about your time of day, because when you beat the Deku Tree, your time of day will be reset. So getting into market won't be a problem here. It's just rockchalk's going in not knowing the foolish hints, but we know it's okay. Nothing foolish over here.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many runners get burned for not checking fools, at least early in the seed. Some runners do end up tunneling and not checking fools for like 15 minutes in, which I think is a little long to not check fools, but I mean, if you got stuff to do and you're there, I understand. But they're fast checks here in Kokiri, and then Deku's obviously very fast, so not much time lost here.
Yeah, this is fine. I think we'll probably see Volc do the same thing, just with the information coming with it.
Oh, absolutely. Because Volc knows that these aren't foolish to do, so he's hoping to pull something good, especially since we got Kokiri Sword so early. It's kind of almost like the seed being like, hey, you should go over to Forest.
Yeah, you would expect Deku to have something here, and a big chest, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Whoa!
dens.
Okay. That's already nice. We don't have to think now. We don't know how important that is yet, but if we have to do Shadow, that's good. Or
yeah, dens is always nice.
Fire source, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those items that can lock you in a seed. Oh yeah, that's also true to Tophel's point. There are a lot of hint stones over here in Forest, so that's a lot of information.
We are seeing divergence as well. Looks like Volc is done with Child. Gonna save Deku for maybe Child 2. Get ahead adult.
I was kind of surprised to see him save warp to Child back to Cac, but I guess Cac to market's faster than back of Lon to market, maybe?
Yeah, I think it might be one of those emulator versus VC scenarios where it's faster on emulator.
That's a good point, because Volc is on emulator, while rockchalk plays VC, right?
Both are on emulator today, actually.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, we're going to see 2 more hints here back in Deku. And yeah, Volc's just going to go adult. Let's get some good information out of these. Big Goron crafts. What was that, junk?
I think that was junk, yeah.
Oh, poor Big Goron.
He'll have sore eyes for the rest of the seed, unfortunately.
It's true. There's a lot of seeds where he doesn't get his eyes treated.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I can relate. I know. Spirit is small key and Deku nuts. Alright, so there's a double hint for Spirit.
We just got our medallion layout as well, so it's Water Temple is a light medallion, Forest Deku and Spirit are our Forest, Fire, and Water medallions, and DC is our Spirit medallion. So the Din's probably more scary than anything now with Stone Shadow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are actually some pretty dangerous stone dungeons if this somehow mutates into an alt-dungeon seed. As Baronade with Boomerang, you're gonna walk a lot, and then Shadow Temple is just slow. That's a long temple to have to do as a stone dungeon. Volvagia is not as scary. Hammer seems to turn up a lot in this season, just as an item logically required for something. So Fire Temple's not as scary as it usually seems to be.
Yeah, it's just like not a high check density area, so a lot of runners will avoid it until they're running low on checks. So it can be one of those. I always find if I don't know where my item is, it usually ends up in fire. It's just the way it is. We got scale just then in Deku Tree.
Yeah, there's our first scale in Deku Tree as Child. So if we get path hints about Cac being on the path of something, now our runners are gonna have to keep that silver scale in mind. Yeah, and then Volc pulled a wallet from Roof Guy.
Wallet's
already getting
nice.
money loaded. Yeah, tunics are cool.
Tunics are cool. I'm thinking bomb shoes early, potentially, as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's this lullaby off of Storms. That's a really good grab.
That's always nice.
Mm-hmm. And a piece of heart. Yeah, some runners will look at that heart container and go, I'm not going to worry about it. I want to save a little bit of time. We were talking about it last race. Well, the race I last commented with Toffel about, usually wanting at least 5 hearts if you're going to have to go do fire. But having the stone information, Volc might just look at hearts and go, well, hopefully I don't have to go into fire, or I find a tunic before then. Or I'll just happen upon hearts, as there's plenty of them.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially with the heart containers, I find you typically just come across enough hearts. We're finding a suspicious amount of AD items early.
We are. I saw that. My eyes went, uh-oh. We already found Dins and Boomerang, that Stone Shadow and Jabu, which Jabu being buried, that's looking a little suspect. Yeah, put it back. Let's forget that was there.
I'm not sure what was peaked then on the crate in Graveyard. It to me it looked like, I don't know, maybe a slingshot or something like that, or it could have been a stick. Volc peaked it way too quickly for me to be sure.
Yeah, serious business in chat pointing out Boomerang for 50 skulls. Don't put a smiley face after that. All right, we're about to see a very fast Goma, and then we have Volc over halfway through Dampe race. So we're going to see a few more checks here. All right, it looks like nothing from Dampe today. Wow, here's Greg. There you go, everybody.
Let's go. We've won.
Let's go.
Seeds over.
Is that the cheapest, like the worst items combination you get from Dampe as a blue rupee and a green rupee? Could it get any worse? I guess a recovery heart.
Yeah, in these settings, yeah, probably a recovery heart and Greg. Although some would argue Greg is the best item in the game.
They could, but I disagree. It's very obvious best item in the game is hover boots.
Depends what sound effect you have on hover boots. If it's the puppies, you're right.
No, it's the King Zoram weep, dude. Something Gruda, something huge rupee.
Yeah, that was the toilet.
Okay, well it's dead, everybody. Sorry.
We won't be sharing stalls today.
No. We're going to be holding it for the rest of the seed, gamers. Sun's Song of Time? Oh no. I don't think I like these checks anymore.
Yeah, there really are no Warp songs right now.
Ockery of Time is Song of Storms.
Ooh, I hate that.
Oh, and then a slingshot. Well, at least we can do Target in the Woods now. So the reason we're laughing, everybody, is because this is a really nasty all-dungeon seed, and we keep getting items to complete the all-dungeon seed. And Song of Storms not only locks some grottos, but it also locks all of Bottom of the Well, which this season, that place loves hoarding magic. I don't know what it is about it, but I guess people flush magic down the drain. Yeah, this is we might be in for a long one if this becomes AD. We don't want to say it's all dungeon yet, but the seed's definitely trying to gaslight us into thinking it's all dungeon. Augury minigame while we back rock. Sick.
Volc is heading towards adult SFM. I like this because Volc knows that this is Minuet. So rather than have 2 trips to SFM, he's doing it in adult so that he can warp to SFM later as child. I like this.
Yeah, it's those warp songs, especially Minuet, Bolero, and sometimes Serenade, can save a lot of movement, especially as child. So getting in those sooner than later can help a lot, even if you can't, like, say, you know, go into Forest right now. But you're gonna get back to it fast later, so whatever.
Yeah.
I guess thematically, magic in Bottom of the Well makes sense, because how else would the guy who used to live above it use the lens without magic? He was just keeping it in the cellar, that's all.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Alright, are we gonna get our first warp song in Child SFM? I feel like
we need it. We're just 16 minutes in and we still don't have a warp song, and it's loading up on all the other songs.
I mean, it's only Sun Song left out of the child songs available, so we got pretty good chance.
For people less familiar, Hyper, Sun Songs for the season, is that considered in logic for, say, if you do have to do 50, or is it only checking like Hookshot and Boomerang for reaching Skulltulas?
Yeah, it's not considered in logic, so you need to route the time of day to get the skulls. Sun Song is only required for the Sun Song grave, so one single check Sun Song gives us. But it's very nice for skull routing to have, regardless of whether it's in logic or not.
Oh, absolutely. And then you could also do movement tech, like we've seen throughout the season, where, like, say you need to climb back up Goron City fast, but you don't have a hook shot or something, or your child, you can play Sun Song, go straight back to the door. So it's also nice for some movement optimization.
Yeah, especially early game. TJ's right as well, correcting me. Sun Song's also required for frogs too, but I like to pretend that that check doesn't exist in the game.
I think most people do. I hate frogs in this game. Real life frogs are great. They're homies. They're really stupid and they eat everything. They bite everything, so I can relate about the biting part.
By the way, chickens was hinted. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier or not. I think that's funny.
Yeah, we already did chickens, but that's all right. All right, looks like Volc is actually going to go back to Child now, armed with some information and that minuet to get around. rockchalk looks like maybe going to go adult finally, backwalk out of CAC.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Volc back child again. I think he has nighttime, so this might just be doing Richard real quick before playing Minuet. Yeah.
He could also save quit and go do Dampe, unless it's late nighttime.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his time of day is, but yeah, if he's got it, might as well. Especially with we got CL. But he did that already, didn't he?
Yeah, in the graveyard. Yeah, he already did it. That's how he. Yeah. I was gonna say though, Randomizer is basically the only time you'd ever actually hit the gossip stones to check the time. I don't know what use of that is ever in the base game, but well, there we go. There's some bomb chews off Richard. So Richard's family is armed and dangerous, but that will help out a lot since we still haven't found any explosives, and the only bomb bag we know is on 50. So.
Yeah, that's gonna make coming to this SFM route even nicer. A few extra checks Volc can get over rockchalk.
Yeah. As long as it's not like a 5-pack. I don't know if he's put it on yet. Fixing something on my end. There we go. 20-pack? Wow. You got lucky on that chew pull, because there's only one 5-pack, but I feel like it comes up a lot.
Yeah, it drives me crazy when I finally pull bomb shoes and then I look and it's a 5-pack. It's the worst.
Ooh, Volc finding a big chest in the Sacred Forest Metal Grotto here. And it's a bomb bag. Okay, so that's a bomb bag out of logic, but he has explosives now.
Well, that's a good way to make use of your choose. Immediately find a bomb bag.
Oh yeah. Now you have plenty of choose to do whatever else that you would normally want choose strategies for, and then you got bombs to use for everything else. Or if you just want to go fast. I love when people run in DC and they're like, I have 6 choose and I'm using them, just because I want to blow up walls faster. And rockchalk finally checking his foolishness 20 minutes in, as he heads off to adult for the first time. And then Volc going over and clearing Deku, which we know he's going to be rewarded with a silver scale and boomerang for this. So it'll be interesting to see their routing. What Volc decides to do afterwards, probably go clean up Lost Woods. I
think so, and then it just got to decide, like, do you make use of that scale that you just picked up in Deku, or you do something else with those with that bomb bag? Maybe you're thinking DC from there. Did get we did get Bolero, so there's that song that you might want to go and play as adult. Get that song.
Yeah, absolutely. Since it's either going to be songs or warp song. We're missing warp songs right now, so that's some pretty good odds. And we're about to find out actually what Bolero is on rockchalk's side here. As is that light arrows in Crater? I couldn't quite tell if that was lights or a huge rupee. I think it was lights.
It might be lights.
That's what is Crater? What is the Crater check logically behind in this seed? Because you need Bean and Bolero, right? That would be it.
Bean and Bolero or hover boots.
Right, or hover boots. So yeah, we might see with that, if that was light arrows, still couldn't tell. Some people were saying it is nuts, which I could see it, like the band of the nut. Yeah, we could see an early Ganon's Castle as seed, certainly.
We definitely could, yeah. Just like we were talking about, it's possibly going to come up pretty early if that's where lights are. We already have Bolero, we don't have logical bean access, but we do have access to River out of logic with that bomb bag.
Does Zora Scale not give us logical access?
Oh, sorry, yeah, you're right, I forgot we got that scale.
That's okay, everyone forgets we get scale as soon as we get boots anyways. Alright, so we got rockchalk gonna climb up, or do adult CAC, and then might go up DMT. And then we have Vulcan on the top of the tree. Rock getting some money. Without any explosives, I don't see rockchalk going into... He can't do anything in Dongos yet, so he'll have to come back. So I guess Volc has that edge right now. Since, again, Volc was able to get Bomb Bag from a Bomb Grotto in Sacred Forest Meadow, so rockchalk's going to need to find hammer or explosives to get that bag.
Yeah, the longer rockchalk goes without finding explosives, the more advantage it gives Volc, definitely. That's a big bomb bag and bomb shoes that Volc was able to find.
Yeah, we have Toffel suggesting that Rock's going to go upriver, which would be a strong play. Get some more information from hints. There's a few freestanding items there. And if he did see, you know, light arrows up there, he might be just having river on his mind anyways. I'll get the cow love, yes! Always take the dessert from the cow. I need a Season 9 for that Impa's house piece of heart to be always a bottle with milk. So you can go get cow milk whenever you want. The cow bottled it for you.
I'm down for that.
Hell yeah.
Why don't we just might as well just turn cows on.
Yeah,
Cow
why
sanity.
not? Everyone wants to check cow and house, right? Favorite check. Everyone loves going and racing horses, right?
Absolutely. It's the best time.
I'll race horses 10 times before I have to do HBA. You tried it for leagues, never happening? Damn, Chuckles. They're already ahead of us on that one. I'm not surprised Cow Sanity was not popular. That's peak. What is it? Is that Lens?
I thought that was Lens. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Lens. Which... Oh, that's interesting. Because that's just basically a bean away. Huh.
Yeah, I never like to see a Lens.
No, absolutely not, because that puts crossing in logic once we find magic, and then Shadow Temple Lens is logically required, but no one uses it, right?
No, it's not logically required. It is by default, but we have tricks enabled, so the Lens is not required for it with these settings.
Yeah, there's a few tricks.
Only crossing and treasure chest game.
That's right. I always forget the enable tricks list. We could boomerang the Lens, true. You don't have to plant the bean, you could save some money.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even be going for the Lens, like,
No.
as a priority, especially with AD Storms. Like, I don't know when, unless you're checking Dampe, that's the only time that you're gonna be anywhere near it to grab it with the rank.
Can't believe you're not rushing treasure chest minigame, dude. It's gonna be the new meta.
I know, what am I doing?
What are you doing? You're skipping Skulls and Seed, and now you're not rushing treasure chest minigame? Next thing you're gonna tell me is that you're never rushing ice again.
Just gotta go where the items are.
It's true. Yeah, so... I want to see how these runners would route an all dungeon seed with this setup, but I know these runners don't want to route an all dungeon seed with this setup. It's not polite.
Yeah, I don't know out of these two players which one would feel more confident with the AD. It typically favors the more execution style player, and honestly, I don't know who I would pick in that kind of seed between these two.
No, yeah. Volc's been having some really clean executions from the races have been able to watch this season. So I definitely would say Volc would probably kill it. rockchalk, I haven't caught as many of the races, but they did have some really strong player in the match against Drunas most recently that I was able to watch. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised either if both of them would execute well. Now, again, whether or not they feel confident is up to them. But it would definitely be a sight to behold, especially since, we're 30 minutes in and the runners have some very different sets of information and items to be working with. rockchalk's going to get Song of Time here. But again, to your point earlier, having those explosives on Volc's side at this early can start giving him a lead, especially with optimizing his routes for checking explosive checks, like the grottos here in Lost Woods. rockchalk would need to return to later. Volc doesn't need to.
Yeah, I think rockchalk is really hoping for some explosives soon. I guess we're hoping that there's another bomb bag out there, or a hammer, or another pack of bomb chews that's gonna help rockchalk get back to those explosives.
Mm-hmm. The biggest question, though, is it going to be another out of logic one, or is we're going to find a logical bomb bag that doesn't require 50 skulls? That's right now the question.
Yeah. I mean, the best bomb bags are the out of logic bomb bags, if you ask me.
Well, yeah, because they're like, cool, I don't have to wait for bomb bags now, I have them.
Yeah.
But in terms of following what the seed wants you to do, it's easy to forget, like, when you're in the race, especially like an hour and a half, 2 hours in, where did I get this bomb bag? Did I logically get this bomb bag? And I'm like, oh, I found hammer since then. Where did I find the hammer? And then you're having to reverse engineer everything you did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's, as someone who frequently forgets where things are, that's a big challenge in racing, for sure.
I think even the best note takers still forget, because you're doing so many things in the moment in terms of routing. It's really easy to forget minor things. Like we mentioned in the stat screen earlier before the race began, rockchalk owned up like, oh, I forgot I found scale here, and I just tunneled on it being Requiem for this logic path, and I was completely wrong. Just forgot about scale, yeah. And I'm like, that's 100% fair. That's really easy to forget about. I think the scariest thing that we haven't brought up so far is we're half an hour in. We've checked in a lot of gossip stones. We're about to see some new ones here. We have not gotten a single path hint yet, and there's supposed to be 5 of these suckers out there. So we're still don't know what our paths are. First strength is in river, according to our peak right here, and rockchalk's going for it. It's the first freestanding one. That's definitely got to be the first logical strength, because that's free.
Yeah, that's in logic with the scale. So that's nice. Nice execution from rockchalk on that trick. Not as easy as racers make it look.
No, it's definitely easier to come from the other way rather than going up, but definitely efficient if you can pull that trick off consistently.
Getting a look at Child Goron City here.
What does Dancing Dad got? Give us the goods, Darunia. $5. All right, that's our inheritance. It looks like we have a big chest here in the open grotto, which is wind. That's very nice if we can find some magic to use it with.
Yeah, nice to have that early. But like you said, we need that magic still.
100%. Within Spirit. Was that the same Spirit Trial? Yeah, it was. That was the same Spirit Trial.
Yeah,
we have one more stone up here at the top, and we'll see what this freestanding item is. If the first magic is in bottom of the... okay, I was going to say... Chat's like, I hope the first magic's in the bottom of the well. I'm like, what do these runners do to you? Oh, looks like there's our second slingshot, though, at the top of the river. And for this one, it's Fire's Path to Morpha. So that's already a stone dungeon on the way.
That's potentially another AD dungeon that we need to do. Or, yeah. So we know we're most likely going to need the hammer.
Yeah, and then Volc pulling Bow out of Goron City Pot. That's an out-of-the-way check that rockchalk could do with strength now, but why would you go to Goron City with strength? Seems kind of slow unless you're last locationing something.
It's true. Alright, so where does rockchalk go next? Like, rockchalk's in a position where you really feel like there's something you're missing right now. I guess the strength is probably going to push rockchalk to DC.
That's a good point. Might find something in DC behind using those bomb flowers. It'll be slow, but hey, if the seed's encouraging you that way, that might work. Yeah, we also found Hookshot in Goron City. What the hell? Child Goron City's paying off in stonks right now.
Wow.
So the thing about Child Goron City is it's an easy place to orphan and routing, especially when you have the item set up that rockchalk has. So he's not really encouraged to go over there and clean that up, especially since he did kind of stretch a little bit more in his child routing than Volc did first time around. When do you think rockchalk would get back to Goron City after Dodongo's Cavern, but then he'd still have to go back to Child and go back?
Yeah, there's not a lot of incentive to go there right now. Yeah, already done Deku. There's pretty much full cleared Lost Woods. There's very little reason to go there, so that's gonna be hard for rockchalk to get to. Unless we get, I think. Yeah, sorry. The best chance he's got is a path hint leading there.
Well, that's true. Yeah, Volc's getting loaded up here from these child checks. This is pretty nuts.
Yeah. And yeah, we're probably going to see Volc find a strength here and have Forest Temple in Logic. Well, not in Logic, but in his inventory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the chat's point right now, Volc's looking like they're killing the seed, like they're doing some god routing here, but we're only half an hour in. This seed clearly has some potential curveballs to throw us, since our first path hint was going into fire from Morpho, which is a stone dungeon. We still have storms locked behind all dungeon. So, you know, with getting these strong items early, Volc might just be chasing progression, and sometimes doing the obscure checks pays off, and rockchalk might be encouraged to do that. Without too much spoilers, Hyper, in your most recent race against Marco, obscurity definitely helped you. In that race,
yeah.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Lake Hylia
from my perspective, like I like the seeds not to be straightforward. It just allows for more divergence, and I think it makes for a more interesting race, but also gives a better chance as well, I think, against some of those top players.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like playing aggressive on skulls is definitely a way to make up a lot of time, which paid off for you. Sometimes it doesn't pay off. Like in the flip side, rockchalk was more aggressive with skulls in his last race, and that was kind of the signifier of what turned that race around in his favor. So it changes from seed to seed, and sometimes you can adjust to the runners. One thing I noticed this seed is obviously a lot of the runners know each other and are familiar with one another, but some of them we're not so familiar with one another, especially since ATZ returned this season after a long hiatus. And I remember in his interview before racing Ryu, he's like, I don't know Ryu. So sometimes you gotta stick to your book, but then otherwise you can adjust. So for all we know, rockchalk or Volc might be adjusting to one another.
Yeah, I think the deeper we're going, the more players might know about each other. We've all played a lot of races now. There's a lot of restreams out there to go and watch if you choose to. But just diverting quickly, we did see a Lake Hylia to KD path, so might be as simple as just a bomb bag on child fishing or on the Rudo's ladder spot. That puts everything back into Logic.
Yeah, we did find that silver scale early, and it could do a lot for us. That Lake Hylia check might just be it. It looks like Volc is going to go down and check that out now, having that hint. rockchalk has not found that hint yet, as I believe that was the King Zora stone. But Volc did get a tunic off of diving minigame. It looks like that's a stick. So it looks like maybe something else in Lake Hylia will be the path. Now for King Dodongo, we're thinking, is it just strength and bomb bag that'd be path for King?
It can only be bomb bag or something that leads to the bomb bag.
Oh, right, because you got to open up the head.
Yeah. So it could be like a hammer to get the bomb bag in SFM. Or we might need a planar bean. So I mean, Volc's not really too concerned with this DC KD path, because he's already got the bomb bag. But again, you might be thinking, well, it could be something else. It might not be bomb bag directly.
I think the good joke would be if it's golden scale.
I mean, you're right here, so you'd take it happily.
Yeah, you're like, all right, sure. But yeah, if it's not your bomb bag, it's something that'll lead to the bomb bag for sure, and that's going to be high in rockchalk's priority list whenever he gets the hint, which he did go back to Child here, finding Rudo's letter in the Redead Corrado and Cac. This is we're getting closer to AD, everybody, or at least going to a Baron Jabu for I don't know what to do AD, I guess. Cac was holding today. Cac had a lot of items in it.
Volc did miss the strength in River as well. Only did the top jack, just heading towards the main, so can't do Forest Temple yet for Volc.
No. Gotta push those blocks. I know there's some runners who hate having to push those blocks, but we gotta let everyone know Link can lift, okay?
At least it's sped up.
So rockchalk seems to be playing Skulls a bit more aggressively here. Already checking 10 and getting a piece of heart for it. We still have 20. But it did pay off for him again in his most recent race, so... And then Volc is hitting Lake Hyrule Field here.
Yeah, which is again more information. We're gonna get 2 more hint stones here as well. So see if we pick up a couple more paths.
Oh, there's our third swing shot. Oh shit! What was that hit?
Forest Bane.
Oh well, we had to do Forest anyways.
We did. So what does that mean? If that's hovers, that can't be hovers then, right? Sorry, that can't be lights in Kratos.
Can't be lights in DMC. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm sure rockchalk knows it's not lights. It's just hard to see on the, re-stream.
Yeah.
So yeah, it must be Deku Nut or maybe a Big Rupee. So it forces path to Bane. And rockchalk believes, oh, Cac is Nocturne.
Okay.
Okay. Also, welcome Raiders. So Burning Cac is Nocturne, which means we need to finish Spirit before we can get into Shadow. So if this is AD, that's rough, buddy.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, it's only gonna be for more for items.
Ooh. All dungeons for long shot in the well?
That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, this is good for rockchalk. We're in the right place, and gonna get that bomb bag.
Yeah, rockchalk's gonna go on the path here, and he is in Forest, so he could go straight to Goron City and clean that up. Which rockchalk has been, I'd say, playing the sea relatively safe and smart. So I think that's what he will do. I don't think he's gonna get super aggressive with these.
Yeah, I think when you've got both ZL and Saris as well, you can full clear Child Goron City. Makes a lot of sense, and we might actually see rockchalk first into Forest Temple, not Volc.
Now, with the Rudo's letter being where it was, that doesn't necessarily mean we need to do AD, because obviously Jabu's Baron. But that could mean that we're going to need to go hike up to Ice Cavern or Fountain. Maybe. Maybe. Puts it in logic, at least.
Yeah, it could be Requiem over there as well. So you might just want to go Ice and gamble that it's something. I think it's down to
it's down to
Serenade,
Warp
Requiem,
songs.
or Prelude. Yeah.
Yeah, so Requiem would be obviously the best pick of those 3. Serenade would save you a little bit of time if you have to do some more backtracking as Child. And then, obviously, Prelude's Prelude. We hope it's not Prelude, if you have to go out of your way to do Ice.
Yeah, you'd probably take Serenade over Prelude, just because it gives you that use of Water Temple. Prelude's nice with our Child's Spawn, but we don't really care too much.
Yeah. Yeah, that Burning Cac hit obviously changes this a lot. We obviously go, okay, well, Shadow's so deep now, logically, it's very unlikely to hold anything important, since we have to basically do everything else first.
Yeah.
The only stone dungeon these runners are going to be concerned about is going into fire for that Morphopath.
Alright, so I think we'll see 2 dungeons here. We'll probably see DC from Volc, and I think we might see Forest from Rockchalk. After
Oh yeah, because it does
Child
look like a... Yeah, it does look like Volc is going adult here. Yeah, so rockchalk being thorough here definitely paying off. Us knowing that they're going to find hookshot and bow in here. We're going to see bomb shoot bowling. Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh, there's frog. Don't leave the frog behind. Oh, poor guy. Orphan at the bomb shoot bowling alley. Alright. Let's nail that timing. Now, there's a lot of different setups for this pot check. Personally, I just yellow it. I know a lot of runners like to do the setup from Darunia's room where you light them, then run up in a specific timing.
Yeah, with bombs it's fine. You just have to throw it when it's on the neutral face, or pull your bomb bag when it's in the neutral face, and you get it every time.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot more complicated with strength.
Yeah, the timing, despite those bomb shoot flowers feeling like their fuse lasts forever, it certainly does not for this, so it becomes a little bit more trial and error if you don't have a setup. Alright, so rockchalk feeling super loaded now. It's going to play Sun Song for some movement here. Rockchalk could do Forest. Gotta go back for Adult and then slam it out. And, you know, they might with the... Actually, the only path that they have marked still is the Fire Temple path. So they don't know about the Bane hit yet, or the Lake Hylia hit.
It looks like we might get it here, though.
Oh, okay. Good point. Oh, right, going into Zora's domain here. I think that Lake Hylia hit became much less important now for rockchalk since they actually went and found the bomb bag.
Yeah, again, unless it's the hammer that's leading to a bomb bag, which is definitely possible. Yeah, we don't care too much about it. But setting up Scarecrow is good. That way you'll be able to check the adult side of Lake Hylia, because we know the child side is dead, so... Yeah, going in the right direction, I think.
Yeah, I know chat probably has it in their brains, because they love to remind everybody. What about Fire Pier? Always gotta think about Fire Pier. Hover Boots would be the comedy option in Fire. I mean, Hover Boots would be the best option in Fire in my eyes. I love seeing Hover Boots. Alright, what's Tektite have? Nothing but fish.
I think we might be seeing Volc want to find out what's in Lake, want to make sure it's bomb bag, or we might be seeing a GTG dip.
Ooh, a GTG dip would be pretty spicy because, to your point earlier, they don't have strength yet, so they can't finish Forest. Some players would opt to go work for progression and hope that they pull something they need or something that shoves them along, but there is a lot of stuff Volc could be doing still with all the items they have. Like DC.
Yeah. It does look like, yeah, Volc is thinking, I just want to make sure, clear this path, find out if it's just bomb bag or it's something more important.
Oh yeah, and also can grab a Scarecrow song here as well while we're here, so that's another good point too, knowing that we have that fire path.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll likely go check adult fishing while they're here. Can't do lab dive, we could check the lab roof, and then I don't know if Volc's going to take the time to shoot the sun. That's something you would do after doing a dungeon.
Yeah, especially when you can't actually reach the check. You can only check it. Probably just going to skip by it for now.
Yeah. Because whatever's behind it, is that logically behind completing the water temple?
It's logically behind long shot, so more often than not, you can just beat water temple anyway. There are some annoying times where it's required before beating water temple, and you have to route in the time of day in that case. But with Sunsong, it's not too bad. But not having Serenade, sometimes it can be annoying to get as well.
Yeah. But it doesn't look like both runners are... Oh, there's blue fire arrows from adult fishing. Can't use them yet, but nice.
if that's the path item, because Rudo's letter is still bomb locked at this stage. So if we find in logic magic.
Well, we still have a few Lake Hylia checks. I'm sure Volc's hoping that it's not blue fire arrows. So this is the last check Volc could do at the moment. Taking out the Gwei, very responsible. Alright, what's up here? Oh, there you go. That's your path. Yeah. Alright. So... We haven't found our first logical bomb bag, right? Because that was locked behind hookshot, which was behind bombs.
Now we have scale for beans, so that puts it in logic.
Scale for beans.
Yeah.
No, I forgot about the scale.
It's alright, we'll take turns.
Eventually, we'll put our brains together and remember scale at the same time.
So that was a big time commitment for Volc to just confirm that path. If rockchalk's able to skip that, we'll save a nice bit of time over Volc.
The way rockchalk's playing, I don't know if he's going to skip it, though. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to Lake Hylia before entering a dungeon, but he might just go, you know, I'm already an hour in, almost. Might as well just go to a dungeon, screw it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got places to be right now. He's got Forest Temple and DC to go and do. Volc's only got DC right now until he comes across that strength.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with the Forest Temple to Bane path, so you kind of want to be in there.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because again, to your point, while it might just be light arrows, it might be another item, and another item would open stuff up, and then that would give you a lot more to do. We were talking about this earlier, though. We were talking about how maybe some runners right now are more familiar with each other, but if they're not, they'd be watching other restreams. Zobby's entered the stream. We want to point out, thanks for resubbing the Zelda Speedruns, but also, as a reminder to chat, the winner of this race will be playing Zavi in lower quarterfinals. So, a race for everyone to pay attention to.
Zavi's taking notes.
Yeah, absolutely. Zavi's like, alright, rockchalk's pushing 20. Volc just got a skeletal hint. I need a snack.
We just got a 20 skull dead hint as well.
Skulls are dead.
On Volc's side. So rockchalk doesn't know that yet. And apparently we got a second KD path for a scale. I'm reading in chat.
Oh, good. Well, as long as we don't find a third. Of course, we're leaving that frog behind because we know claim check is dead. As much as it pains me to leave frog behind, I don't think Bombshoe Bowling Alley is a good place for frog, but they'll survive. Let's see what Goron Link has for Volc today. Child Goron City paid out. Let's see if adult Goron City does. Nope, just a piece of art. Alright, so rockchalk going back to adult for the second time now. And let's see, oh, that looks like forest.
It's forest.
Yep. Pausing to put on hookshot and bow, we go into forest. Alright, cool. So this is our first look at forest. Again, Volc has likely been avoiding this due to not having strength, which we know the first strength is at the bottom of Zora's River. Volc didn't take the time to go down there and check, but we haven't seen Dodongo's Cavern yet. So Volc is giving us a first peek here. So 2 dungeons we have yet to see. Both progression, Forest being vanilla with the Forest Medallion, and Dodongo's being Spirit, which would be our second of 3 requirements to get into Ganon's Castle. Someone yell if you find something. I will say something. I won't yell, though, for the sake of everyone's ears. Oh, big chest already, and Dodongo's on Volc's side on the right there. Looks like iron boots. That's nice to find, knowing water's required.
Well, I think that kills AD. We're only missing the long shot, and we have a path for it. Nocturne's behind Burning Cack.
Now, that could be our Bane path, right?
No, it's Forest. That's the Bane location, not DC.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking about it while staring at rockchalk.
I know. I don't want to watch Forest either.
You're like, wait a second. You're like, looking at the wrong one, dude. Alright, yeah, Volc's just ignoring skulls right now, which I think they were pretty close to 10 anyways, or they already did their 10, then 20's dead. Yeah, their tracker has 10, so they're not going to be collecting our skulls. So they're going to save a little bit of time over here, rockchalk, who does not have that 20 hit and still looking. Looks like there's boss key up there. We still have to do the rest of Forest. Sorry, everybody. You can't just go to the door like a Fire Temple. Luckily, the Forest Skulltulas are all pretty fast and on the way. So rockchalk's not going to lose a lot of time here grabbing these 5.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll feel a little bit bad when rockchalk finds that 20 skull hint, because he'll probably be pretty close to 20 by then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hasn't been really collecting slow skulls, so
no.
Not for too bad.
Ooh. The one on the long shot looks weird. Yeah, I was like, ooh. We got a little bit skewed long shot there. Don't do anything too crazy.
This is Forest Temple. We can't get too exciting in here.
Yeah, we still gotta find, well, we have 3 keys already, so that's kind of nice. Forest Temple is always one of those temples where I know runners go check everything, and when the last 3 check are your keys, they're like, man, logical hovers, get out of here. But it looks like we're getting all our keys pretty fast here. And it looks like the last check before DC is not anything to be exciting, but we're gonna see what's on Dodongo here. Don't blink or you'll miss it.
The hardest boss in the game. Count 1 cycle.
Forest, I would agree with Virgil. I think Forest Temple is a party in the back because that's where all the ghosts hang out. Ghosts only hang out in cool places. It's just a fact. Mullet Temple? I don't know if I go that far. The greatest crime King Dodongo ever committed was being hungry. Poor guy. But there he goes. So we found iron boots in Dodongo's cavern, and like to your point, very unlikely we'll have to do AD. AD believers, don't have your dreams shattered too much.
Yeah, very sad. More keys in Forest Temple.
Sick. Loaded them up. Alright, we're gonna hop back down. I'm so used to runners just immediately jump slashing the wall. I was like, wait.
Yeah. Gotta push the blocks of shame today. No hover boots.
No. And then Volc immediately returning to adult CAC. Looking to go archery. I don't think we've seen adult archery yet.
Yeah, this is a new check for us.
Our child shooting gallery didn't have anything, but made this one though. Yeah, I don't think we mentioned it earlier, but Volc found a path into Dongo for Deku Tree, which Volc has attributed to Silver Scale. Since I think
that's one that chat was talking about earlier.
Hmm. Yeah, which makes which we found Boomerang in there, but we know Jabu's dead, and Boomerang really doesn't do anything other than Jabu. It was in DMC, not D. So wear a shirt. We love blue shirt. We're at fashion percent. Our runners can now mix and match. Wow, so many keys. All the keys are in the front of Forest. So whatever's in here, it's in the back.
Oh well, at least the rest of Forest Temple becomes a bit interesting. You know, you're getting checks from here on out.
Oh, absolutely. I think the front of Forest Temple is interesting from an execution standpoint for some runners, specifically. I know people like to fall asleep during Forest, especially since when you're pushing blocks, but when you are doing hover skips out of logic, or if you're trying to clean up the courtyards, I've seen a few different routes come into play depending on item availability. For today, though, we're pretty loaded with bow, strength, hook shot, even Song of Time, so not too much to ogle at today.
So we get the fabled double forest. So close your eyes, chat. Just listen to our voices for a little bit.
Let our voices guide you down the wooded path to the castle hidden in the woods. It's like a castle. It's got like a courtyard and a wall around it. It's cool. Forest Temple looks cool.
It does look cool.
Fighting our first Poe as well. What's your favorite? I always ask this because it's something to do during Forest Temple. What's your favorite Poe, Hyper?
I like. Is it Meg, the purple one at the end?
Yeah.
I think it's Meg. Yeah, I like
Meg.
that. Just with the new speed ups, I find that fun because it's very quick. You can see which one it is. Like if you can spot the one that appears first, so you can. Yeah, it's more of a challenge.
Do you want to elaborate on the speed ups portion of that for everyone?
Yeah, so Kirox, the legend with all the speed ups, has increased the respawn rate of Meg. So Meg appears much quicker, so the fight is much shorter. As well as the cutscenes on Red and Blue Poe as well. There used to be a cutscene when you shot each painting. Those are being removed as well. So just, Forest Temple was boring, and Kirox has just helped make it a little less boring. So we love you, Kirox.
That's a really good point. Especially fast push blocks, obviously. Everyone loves fast push blocks. But we're pushing right over the 1 hour mark right now. Hey. So welcome everybody to Zelda Speedruns. This is the lower bracket round 5. It is there's Mirror Shield. That might be the path item. Sorry, got distracted. But welcome to lower bracket round 5. I'm out of this world burrito, and commentating with me today is Hyper. Thank you very much for being here. Getting up early and have a good breakfast for this race today. And of course, super thanks to our runners, rockchalk and Volc, for sharing this excellent race with us. We're seeing some different executions, but them coming back and meeting once another every once in a while, and Forest Temple happens to be one of those. And then I want to thank our tractor, Procrastinator AT, and Baseball for keeping things accurate and tight for us, and another thanks to Baseball for also restreaming and giving us an excellent introduction today, as always. And we want to thank all the viewers for being here with us today. And there are still plenty of matches left. Hyper noted earlier that I think there's still 8 more matches of Season 8, so make sure to follow and keep attention to those. We have lots of great runners still in the mix. And of course, one of these runners might have the opportunity to come back in Grand Finals. And Hyper, you have a chance to get to Grand Finals, and you might be fighting one of these runners in the last match. So you better be taking notes as well.
I'm taking notes.
Good. But But yeah, getting back to what I got distracted with earlier, we did find Mirror Shield in here. And it looks like chat was discussing that while I was away. What has chat been saying, Hyper? Or what are you saying?
Yeah, Mirror Shield, looking like the most likely item. There's only 3 mirror lock checks, really. But again, that could bring Burning Cap back into it as well, needing Mirror Shield for Burning Cap, so something actually is in Shadow for lights. That could be interesting.
We say that, and we just
or the
find
comedy
option.
Yeah, true. Well, the comedy option is the Zoro tunic that we found.
That's true. Chat was bringing up that earlier. So that would just be Central Pillar and Water Temple, right?
That's right, yeah. It could be just there, or it could be a small key there for the key lock checks in Water Temple.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we can just do Spirit now. So
yeah, that's pretty wild.
Unless we actually need Requiem for Child Spirit, it might be the next place we're heading. So,
could we get key locked in Spirit without being able to use magic yet, though, and not having a long shot?
Well, I think these players are good enough to be able to do the magic lock checks with a bow.
Right.
But we might just get key locked in the first 2 checks and need to have Requiem for Child side. So players might be thinking, do I go Ice first and maybe try and find Requiem? Go that way instead.
Yeah, because coming back to our foolish hints, Gerudo Valley and Fortress are dead. You could definitely check some things in... I mean, you could just do all of GTG at this point. And then, you could cross after that. But, yeah, they might just go, you know what, let's rush Ice.
Yeah, I think going GTG into Spirit probably makes a little bit more sense. You might just be able to bypass Ice completely. So you might just want that information on the keys as early as you can, and hope that you find something in GTG along the way.
Yeah.
But we're really in a position where we're really only looking for the hammer, and that's going to lead us to the long shot we have. At least Restream has all the other information. Like, we're expecting lights to be behind Strength 2 or Mirror Shield.
Yeah, and while we were talking about that, Volc left Forest Temple as they needed strength to push the blocks, and not finding it earlier, they dipped out. Volc going into Fire, not being able to do the bottom loop, checking for keys, and finding out that Fire is hammer locked. So yeah, we absolutely need that hammer today, since Fire's supposedly path to Morpha, so we're gonna have to keep going through Fire. So this is looking like a not AD seed, but we're gonna have to we're having to dip into Fire, which, you know, not the worst stone dungeon to dip into, but again, depending where that where that hammer is, it might become the worst.
Yeah, I think at the moment rockchalk has the strength advantage from that Zora's River. That's the only real difference between the 2 players at this stage. But I think it's going to be big information, because rockchalk's going to pick up the Iron Boots in DC and kind of know that he's getting close to the end game already.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Volc went back to Child to go run upriver, which they will find their first strength there.
Well, this is good.
Yeah, and then they'll turn letter, get the letter check, and then probably check up in Fountain, and then or just go back adult unless they find something, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a letter turn in for an Ice play, but finding the strength might change that.
Yeah, I was wondering if he finds strength and he just leaves.
I think, yeah, it would be pretty aggressive knowing that you have the letter and this is what you came for. Maybe you just go and turn it in and then you bail.
Is turning the letter, I don't know, Cole's pointing out in chat, is turning the letter committing to AD?
Maybe.
Potentially.
Hard to
good.
say.
Prelude's Prelude. So Ice for Rock Chalk is starting to look more appealing, knowing that it's got a 50-50 on it being Requiem or Serenade.
Yeah, that value just went up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would still cross first. Because, yeah, I don't know. You just want to skip. I think in this scenario, as much as I love Ice, I think I'm advocating against it in this scenario.
Yeah, well, it's just, even with Fortress and Valley Dead, as chat was indicating, GTG is just so rich in checks, even though, yeah, a lot of them are keys, and we know Toilet's dead, but there's just still so much value to go into GTG, especially when we can do everything at this point in GTG.
Yeah, I think rockchalk's even. I mean, we're still looking for magic as well. I was gonna say, like, you might even be in a situation where you might consider skipping GTG and just rushing Spirit. That'd be a very aggressive play. I think if we found magic, you could advocate more for that. Because you're only really looking for the hammer to get into Fire Temple for potentially your no mode.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, to Cole's point in chat, if Volc did Jabu here, that would save a lot of time if it became AD, but to what you were discussing earlier in chat, the odds of AD being required are starting to diminish pretty rapidly with the items that we're finding and the combination of our path hints. And then Jabu doesn't have a lot of checks, and on top of it, this seed is barren. So you're literally just spending, what, like 10 minutes just getting through Jabu or something?
Yeah, that would be a very big commitment.
Yeah, that's a huge commitment. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to see Dodongo's Cavern from rockchalk here, which we saw Volc do earlier. So we know that out of this Dodongo, rockchalk's going to get a bit more information out of hints, and then they got their Deku Tree hint from Crater just there, and they're going to find Iron Boots after they check Link the Goron here.
Yeah, Volc's just bailing, which I think is the right call.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Getting back to the Fountain as Child sucks, but we have Minuet, so that shaves it down a little bit. And even if we did, we have this Kakariko start here. And then there's just so much else to be doing. Yeah. Personally, I just hate Jabu Jabu, so if I have an excuse not to do it, I'm taking it.
Yeah, I think I'm the same opinion right here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know in the interview that you had with rockchalk and Drew after the last match, rockchalk admitted to hating Valley. So I'm sure seeing the Valley Baron hint today was like, he's like, cool, don't have to even think about orphaning anything there.
Yeah, that would feel nice.
Baseball disgusted with the brown Goron tunic. It just hasn't gone to the laundry a bit. I don't think Gorons do the laundry, so if anything, this is more accurate. If you were a rock person, would you do laundry? It's just a little dusty.
No way.
They were storing it under some rocks. They're like, oh,
yeah, if I'm eating rocks, I'm not doing laundry. It's as simple as that.
I'm already a rock eater. Don't raise the bar on me. Alright, so we see Volc returning to adult here. Again, I would agree this is a smart play. Might go back and finish Forest. Try and pursue that path, as they did commit to clearing out that Lake Hylia path to confirm its bombs. So going back to Forest and checking that Bane is a smart play to do in the same vein of what they've already been doing. And they will be rewarded with it with that super cool Zoran tunic and Mirror and, of course, Strength 2.
Yep, so we're just seeing players kind of like swap over what each other's doing.
Yeah,
Volc's about to get Strength 2, isn't he? When he gets into Forest. So
yeah, Strength 2, Tunic, and Mirror Shield. Yeah, chat's a little worried about some of these paths, and I don't blame them. 80 is still looming, but if I was in Volc's position and I went up and I found those items and got those hints, and I would go, do I think my opponent's going to go out of the way to do a Baron Jabu Jabu when AD is still up in the air? Probably not. So I think both runners would just know that each one would take a time loss in this case, and the odds of doing Jabu now is probably not worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather do ice.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there's no rover path because I think lights are in Shadow Temple.
Yeah. It's got a lot of checks. It's late. I'm a little disappointed though. If lights are in Shadow Temple, I was hoping for an early Ganon's Castle, but if lights are in Shadow, probably not looking that good. Baseball is using my new favorite acronym. Poop. Do you know what poop stands for, Hyper?
What does it stand for?
Progression over other paths. Poop. So instead of going to ice or, Baron Jabu, Volc's like, I gotta go back to that progression over there in Forest. Volc's
I like
about
it.
poop. Thank you. As we take this moment of seeing our two favorite dungeons run side by side that we've already seen, we do want to have a reminder that later this weekend, so on Sunday, let me find the time here, we'll have our next scheduled restream for Season 8 tournament. We're going to be seeing on Sunday, February 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern, or 7 p.m. or 1900 if you're thinking standard times, in UTC 0. We're going to have Mr. Mario versus Cola in the lower round 5, and that's going to be a pretty flaming race. We already have a full stock of commentators, trackers, and restreamer. Yeah, see, it's Mr. Mario. He's right there. Everyone say hi. But yeah, that's going to be a really strong race. Both strong runners. Really excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, so that's the other side of this round, and winner of that will face Marco.
Yeah. No one's getting out easy out of here. One of these two is going to be fighting, racing against Zavi, and then the other set's going to be racing against Marco. Both two very strong runners.
Oh yeah, there's no more easy matches. I mean, to be fair, I don't think there were any easy matches.
No.
This top 32 was insane.
Yeah, no, it was not. Everyone was a tough match, and some of these times are insane. Like, I think Marco had a seed in brackets that was like 1 minute over the 2 hour mark, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then some people have gotten sub 2 hours in brackets. There's been some pretty fierce races.
There's been some crazy times. There's been some sub 2s. There's been, I think we had like even a 3.5 hour 1v1.
Yeah, early on in brackets, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Speaking of long seas, though, I guess I'll have to plug it since Chuckles was lurking around here. I think RSL, so Random Settings League, is looking to be starting up soon, I think. And those seeds are where they randomize the settings, like all. And so those seeds could be, as short as these or as long as 8 hours or more. So I know Zelda restreams are going to try and stream some of those, but obviously they might not see the end of the race. You might not see the end of the race depending on how long the seed ends up.
Yeah, and as Baseball's pointing out, League is starting soon. Settings announcement coming very soon. I don't know exactly when, but I know it's around the corner. So if you want to keep playing more Ocarina of Time Randomizer, keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, or just spectating. You could also there's also volunteering for the restreams. You don't have to commentate, but there's also tracking. There's also the potential to be a restreamer yourself, like Baseball. So if you want to figure out how to get involved with that, make sure to check out the link that Baseball is plugged. So we'll have plenty of opportunities. And I know some of the volunteers have already signed up for weeklies, which we're helping restream more weeklies as Season 8 rounds down. We've had a lot of Season 8 matches. So,
oh, yeah.
I don't think Chuckles can live chat. I don't know what you're talking about. Most honest league coordinator.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Too bad you did. Wait.
Oh, I thought that was in Forest Temple.
Nope. I think Chad also thought it was in forest, so that's okay. It was behind a bow check, so you could pretend it's forest. Alright, so it's mirror or strength 2 for that Bane path. So, yeah, getting over to Spirit sooner than later might be worth it, as that's probably where it is. Or somewhere behind Spirit.
Yeah, so... Where's Rock going from here?
Ice.
This is ice, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, go to woods to go to ice. Rock's like, I want that song.
Mm-hmm.
50-50
Yeah, so
could be recommended.
50-50, and, like, you need Serenade anyway, so... Whether it's Requiem or... Well, you don't need Serenade, but it's useful for movement.
Mm-hmm.
So just gambling that this is Requiem and you pick up Requiem and Serenade 2 in 1, yeah, might be okay.
Yeah. Spirit is not foolish today. Our foolishes are Jabu Jabu, Gerudo Valley, and Gerudo Fortress. So desert's dry. Except for the Wasteland part, and I guess Colossus, but you know what we mean. And then the entry point to the desert's dry. But I think what our runners are focusing on now is that Forest is path to Bane, and we found both Spirit Shield and second Logical Strength, so Spirit just shut up in priorities after that.
Yeah, it was a tough choice. This is like one of those clear moments where you're in a dungeon and you're trying to make a decision. Is it, do you go ice or do you go GTG, intercrossing? And it's like, there's not always a correct answer. Like, some seeds it's ice, some seeds it's just cross with GTG. So
No.
I don't think there's a wrong play here.
No, but the salt in the wound for this play is that Rock's got 1 bottle, so it's not going to be the fastest ice.
Yeah.
Oh, good. We got the Bohanazor Fountain Baron. Again.
We are still missing Magic Cola as well, so I don't know, would you cross without logical crossing?
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess that ups Requiem's chance of being here slightly. Because, yeah, we have Lens, but we don't have Magic, and we don't have, obviously, Hovers or Longshot yet.
Yeah.
Screw Magic is in Spirit.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Probably.
Typical.
Oh, Season 8. Looks like freestanding was nothing special. As rockchalk swam right by it, going up to ice, and then we have Volc fighting Meg, and gonna go down and fight Fan Ganon. Alright, so sometimes ice is generous and sometimes it's not. I'm gonna believe that it's a generous ice cavern today. I think we're gonna get Requiem. I don't know if we're gonna get anything else, but I think Requiem's in here.
What if we find Requiem and Magic?
Then ice kicks ass. If you don't go ice this seed, you're ruining yourself.
The trick is to get into ice early enough, and just that way you don't have to make these decisions. They're made for you.
Mm-hmm, that's true. It will be interesting to see what Volc chooses to do after Forest. He would be right here to go make the ice play. I already set up turning in letter, so he's got that empty bottle. But I could also see, you know, to your point, GTG's looking pretty good, and then just cross out a logic.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, like, we know that if Volc chooses ice, he's just following in rockchalk's footsteps and can't really make up any time at that stage. So we probably want to see Volc make the decision to cross and give himself a chance to make up some time somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, there's a big chest back here in ice.
This is Magic.
It's gonna be a bottle. It's like, oh, you're doing ice? Alright, here's a bottle.
The best is when you get blue fire.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what's in this big one on rockchalk side. I haven't seen this yet. Oh my goodness, it is magic. Well, Ice Cavern just took a lot faster.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
I'll put that spoil all away now.
Did rockchalk not get blue fire arrows earlier?
Honestly, probably just forgot. It's you're already in here with the bottle, and it takes a little bit of time for that to register. Oh hey, I have BFA.
That's true. You're already in the flow.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, if you don't go ice sooner than later, you're more than likely getting punished for it just on that point alone, because that might be your first magic.
It could be.
Okay, so chat's saying Rock didn't do adult fishing.
Oh, right.
No blue fire arrows.
Of course.
They were in Lake Hylia at the same time as they keep meeting up like this. So I was like, I don't remember if we did adult fishing or not.
Yeah. Easy mistake, but yeah, that's a big magic find. If we pull Requiem as well here, yeah, I don't even know. Maybe you want Serenade here now, given that Volc is going to ice, so it doesn't matter. I was gonna say if Volc didn't go to ice, you might prefer Serenade, make ice less appealing to come back to. But it looks like Volc's gonna follow and grab that magic. So.
Yep. So right now we're to say that
rockchalk.
Volc's like, what, 4 minutes behind? 5 minutes?
Yeah, about an ice cavern behind, which is, yeah, 4 or 5 minutes. That time can still be made up. There's still a lot of decisions to be made at this stage, unless the items are just along the way from here, which it doesn't happen very often. The sea doesn't like to be nice like that.
No. That Bane hit, Strength 2 and Mirror Shield could be throwing us for a loop too. It'll just depend on because let's say we find Requiem here. rockchalk might just go to Spirit immediately and start checking there, but for all we know, maybe it's back of GTG. And maybe he doesn't get the GTG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we could just need the hover boots in a random location like a treasure chest game or something, and need to get into Shadow Temple. So. Yeah, still a lot that can happen. But we'll see what song we get here in Ice. It is Serenade.
Also, the question is, where's that hammer? We need it for fire. We're hammer locked in fire. So we're like, wonder where that is. Alright, so we got a Serenade, so that means they're going to have to cross, which finding magic here puts crossing in logic. Well, we still don't have in these settings. Is hookshot in logic for getting across the gap?
No, yeah, we still need the hover boots or the long shot, which is an interesting detail to consider. Yeah,
so there with that. Now there's more decisions to be made here, so that might help give Volc some wiggling room. I think a rockchalk situation, though, if he's not thinking about GTG, he is now. Or you can rush treasure chest minigame.
I know what the superior option is.
You always rush TCG. It's everyone's favorite minigame, because chat can play along too. Oh yeah, we gotta melt this guy too. Can't forget about frozen fish.
So
what do you got for us?
We'll see Volc gain a little bit of time back, a little bit of a faster ice cavern with BFA once he gets that magic, and has also done Adult Lake. So rockchalk's gonna dip fire as well. So again, this is more time giving back to Volc. So yeah, we said like 4 or 5 minutes, but it might be a little bit closer than that. With rockchalk doing a few things that Volc's already done now.
Yeah. He'll spend at least 3-ish minutes here in fire, going up to the room, and then the other finding out that he's hammer locked as he checks both sides of the. What do we call the first room with all the blocks?
I just call it like the lava room. I don't know if it has an official name or not.
There's lava in this room. And in the firewall room.
Main lava room.
The big lava room. Thank you, Baseball.
Big lava room.
Same brain cell on that one. I like to think of it as one of my least favorite rooms in Master Quest, just because it starts hitting you with the, hey, Dingus Fire is important like everywhere learning curve. I've been watching the Master Quest routing stuff that's on YouTube, which Alk shared with the commentators, because I was like, I should probably try and commentate some of the MQs, but I never really looked at an MQ rando, despite having played MQ like a couple of times all the way through. And then I'm like, oh yeah, Din's Fire does a little bit more in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I try and delete Master Quest from my memory, but I think it's really cool that randos picked up a tournament for it. I think it's been something that a lot of people have been wanting for a long time. Yeah, and it's cool that it's getting some exposure.
Yeah, and if you all are interested in checking that out, we might have a restream of it tomorrow morning. So, or afternoon. Or evening. It's noon. It's noon Eastern tomorrow. And we have the commentators, but it looks like we might be missing a tracker, and I don't know if a restreamer signed up, so that may or may not happen. But there's still plenty of more in the Master Quest series as well. So, lots to look forward to there.
Yay, Volc remembering he has BFA.
Yay! Saves a bit of time. Dropping and picking up fire takes time.
It does.
Alright, so rockchalk playing Serenade and probably do adult fishing here and set up Scarecrow song.
Yeah, so this is actually looking really close. Still got to see rockchalk do adult fishing, top of the lab, probably do lab dive. And by that time, Volc will be done. Maybe he's got to head back to KZ, so... Yeah, so I'd say they're within probably 1 or 2 minutes of each other.
Yeah, so while we've been seeing Volc chase rockchalk's tail for a bit here, it's turned around again to what we saw earlier this race. rockchalk's actually now going back and doing things Volc has already done. So slowly losing time and giving opportunity for Volc to come back. I'm sure rockchalk will love finding big fires. Yeah, we want it close. We want to keep it interesting.
Absolutely.
Can we hear an audible sigh from this? I heard it in my head. First check after ice? Oh, I found blue fire arrows. Great.
It's usually how it goes.
Unfortunate, but true. So we've seen top of Lakeside Lab, which we know is first logical bomb bag. We haven't seen Lakeside Dive yet. There could be something else in there as well, but we know that this bomb bag is the KD path. So whatever we find inside the lab is something else. Because we know where all our bomb bags are.
We do, yes. Yeah, nice bomb refill, and this just helps confirm that it is indeed a bomb bag and not like a path hammer or something for rockchalk.
Yeah. They're holding hands.
They're holding hands
in the swimming pool. You ever just do that with your homies? Get under the water and hold hands under it so no one sees?
If Toilet wasn't hinted dead, we really could have shared stalls.
Yeah. We would have shared the bathtub and the stall. New petition to make Lakeside Lab called Bathtub. We're tubbing up with a shark.
Tubbing up, I like that.
These two bros hanging out in the hot tub. Alright, Epona. Yep. Both of them mounting up. Whatever time rockchalk has, we are synced back up. We're neck and neck, making the same decisions here. Opponent was hiding behind the Lakeside Blast for Volc. Don't know what she was doing over there. But I love that spawn. She just peeked her head around the corner like, what's good? Yeah, Volc actually winning on the Epona RNG.
Oh, and Choke hasn't done these checks either.
Ooh,
so Volc's gonna pull ahead, actually.
Yeah, it hasn't got these two hints, which we know are not going to... I think they're repeats. And then, yeah, so rockchalk doing a little bit of what Volc already did again.
They're into the foolish areas.
Chat's educating us on Eponas. I do love learning about horses. This wasn't what I had in mind, though.
Horse 101.
Horse 101. They appear out of sight, / depending on where you're looking. Standing. Just like real horses. Alright, let's see Volca clear out this Thieves' Hideout real fast. I'm a little sad we haven't found Big Goron's sword yet. We're over 90 minutes in. I know it's not logical, but that can save you a lot of time in these randomizers.
Oh, yeah.
What's the optimal place to call Epona and Lake? Right next to her. When she's already there. You've heard Big Goron's sword will save 30 minutes? I guess it just depends what you have to do.
Yeah, 29 minutes and 45 seconds, to be precise.
Wow, you got that memorized.
Yeah.
This is what it takes to get into brackets, everybody. You gotta memorize how much time save Big Goron's sword is. Take notes. It will be on the test.
Damn, there's a test. I didn't study.
Yeah, there's a test. Yeah, it's called the master test.
Oh yeah, this makes perfect sense with FW. Yeah. Just drop it down and keep going. Maybe peek the maze.
Take a little peek. If we see a big chest in that maze, Volc's staying. If we don't, I don't know. Let's see what we got. Oh, the big chest right there on the right side. That's not too tough to get to. Looks like a lot of the tougher ones.
Just see a right side and then out of here.
All right, everybody.
Yeah,
what is it? Oh, Volc wants the key.
Yeah, realize that it's just doesn't need any keys anymore, so it's just faster to like go through the 2 doors rather than go around and play Song of Time.
Absolutely. rockchalk finally now just getting across the valley gap. It'll be interesting to see if rockchalk sees this chest. Oh, there's hover boots. Oh yeah, Volc's out of here. That puts crossing in logic. Knowing that now, I was going to say it'd be interesting to see if rockchalk decides to stay and clean it up, but I think he's going to do the exact same thing Volc just did. Drop wind, see that's hover boots, and be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Might even just might even skip. Like, I thought that's what Volc was going to do, is just drop FW and leave. But yeah, if hovers are required, that's a good play.
Yeah, rockchalk's been trying to stay within the logic, I feel, of the seed, and I don't think they're going to want to cross without knowing that it's in logic for them. So once they find those hover boots, they might just go, oh, okay, I'm done. Let's leave.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No horseback archery today. Sorry, everybody. So at this point, we are still missing our hammer, which is Path to Morpha. And we're missing our long shot, which is somewhere on that path.
And lights as well, which
Right.
is also somewhere on that path.
Yeah, Lights has been unfortunately late. That early Ganon's Castle just didn't happen, despite being so set up for it with it being DC and Shadow.
Yeah, we do have some really good information on like where lights can be though, so
Oh yeah,
we know where to look, and we're heading in the right direction.
yeah, we're not in casino mode, everybody. We got info to action still.
And rockchalk is skipping the hovers for now. So again, if they're not required, just saving a little bit of time back on Volc. Right on his tail now. rockchalk will have to do a setup to cross the wasteland though. Doesn't have a logical way across, but definitely not out of rockchalk's depth.
No. He's got it. Setting up for a nice backwalk here. Cleared it, no problem.
Easy done.
Looks like Volc didn't pull anything from torches either. But we're definitely going to see rockchalk check it as well, because when else would you check it? Now or never.
That's right.
This is a bad check to come back to. It's one of those curses of seeds where you get into crossing early, and you don't have a fire source or magic. You're like, am I going to have to orphan wasteland?
Yeah.
Severy says yes. If it's this, oh well.
Yeah, exactly.
rockchalk got excited about it for a second, but then realized that was a that was a dead check. Let's just leave. We're still loaded on shoes. So now we're finding Desert Colossus for the first time. Volc going over and checking the ferry first. And then we'll try and peek what's on the arch with them as they do it. We're still missing our fifth path hint, but we've found a lot of hints so far. I wouldn't be surprised if the runners just skip the Gossip Stone near the Spirit Temple entrance.
Yeah, they might. It could still be a really useful hint. Like, it could be something that leads to that hammer. So I think we might still see them check ones that are on the way, but I don't think we'll see them going out of their way for the hints anymore.
Right. I haven't seen anyone in brackets have to check Hyrule Castle 3, so bracket matches haven't been miserable yet. Oh, we got it. It's a Bane repeat for Volc. So no new information. And then those levers
nothing
are
up on the
trolling.
arch.
Nope. So when you peek the right hand of the Desert Colossus statue, are you just looking to see if it's a large chest over the side? I always have a hard time seeing when they peek it.
Yeah, you can't see it if it's small. You can see like the top right corner of it if it's big.
Chat's saying that might have been the third hint.
Ooh, okay.
So might be 2 Force to Bane, which then could it be? So then it would be Spirit, right? Because it'd be hinting Strength 2 and Mirror Shield.
It could be Spirit, or it could be Spirit completion for Nocturne.
Oh, good
But
point.
that would rule out GTG if that is the third copy.
Mm. One in Lake, one here, and one in Sacred Forest Metal. Got it.
Okay.
Oh, that's spicy. Yeah, so it's minimum behind Mirror.
That means Volc bailing when he did from GTG was the correct call. rockchalk we have to wait and see, depending on whether we find it in here or it's behind Nocturne.
Ooh, yeah, because it's behind Nocturne. Rock's gonna have to look for hovers for Shadow.
Yeah, which GTG will be the first place Rock goes back to.
Yeah, with Windset there especially.
Yeah.
Oh, Rock getting trolled on the turnaround there. Alright. Let's see if Volc gets anything good out of the first mirror here. Spinning around. 2 garbage checks, oh well. Always feels good to find like 2 big chests in that room in Spirit. Or at least
like
keys.
Spirit's either loaded or dead. Kind of like bottom of the well.
Yeah. Well, especially bottom of the well since it's AD locked. Yeah, chat's right. We're still looking about where's that hammer. We have seen Zora Tunic. It was on adult archery in Kakariko.
Lots of keys.
Lots of keys. I mean, that keeps us going in here at least. We're gonna get another key. Is this the key room? Oh, big chest. All right.
I don't think this can be... It could be hammer.
Could be. Or it could be a bottle. Oh, this is hammer. Oh, there you go. All right, everyone.
Okay.
Huh.
I would be go moding as soon as I find the boss key from here.
Yeah, with the information that we have, you're pretty confident we could follow up on all our path hints at this point, huh?
Yeah.
So, strength 2 led us to hammer.
Sorry, yeah, call up. When I say go mode, I do mean, like, I would do the mirror checks. I'm not that psycho.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
So, rockchalk did make up a little bit of time here from just not doing any of GTG. So, if he can avoid going back to GTG, which won't lose a lot of time going back, but again, it would stop him from doing anything Volc did. It's always a big help.
Yeah, if it is Shadow, he does have to go back, so I think we're hoping to see the long shot in... What are we looking for again? Lights. The light arrows in here. That would make it a closer race. I don't know how rockchalk can recover if it's in Shadow. Volc's already ahead in Spirit. Volc would have to go back to GTG to get the hover boots.
I think Volc would have to avoid. I think Volc would have to void a few times in Shadow for rockchalk to catch up at that point. Yeah, we want this race to stay close. We want them to not have to go to Shadow. Oh, but there's a big chest. Oh, big one. So there it is.
There it is.
It's a nice app before Twin Rova. Yeah, everything's coming together now. We're getting items that can action the rest of our paths. So now it's just the question of how soon do we find light arrows?
Yeah, and we're down to 2 mirror checks left.
Also, I just realized rockchalk's Zora tunic is gray, so we got a brown and a gray tunic. Dude needs to visit the laundromat after this. Gotta wash those. Still haven't found boss key. Boss key's pretty deep in here. Will it be vanilla? We're about to find out.
Yeah, we still haven't checked what the worst check in the game is, which is the sunblock push room.
Yeah, why is that the
loves
worst?
to hide there. Oh, it's just horrible. Just to go in and then you gotta like push the block to open the door back up. It's slow, it's boring, it's out of the way.
That's true. At least you can do it without having to go back to child, though.
Call up Parkins, get placed first.
Yeah, so the question that was asked in chat is that if sometimes hints, which means hints that can occasionally appear, get placed before path hints. But yeah, I believe the seeds are generated with path hints being placed first, and they fill out the rest. And yeah, not a vanilla boss key, so it's either all the way up here in the top, in that sunblock room, or we haven't checked Child Spirit side.
Oh, that's true. That would be horrible.
Yeah, that would be out of the way.
Yeah, just one of those inconvenient age changes. We got Prelude, but it's just, yeah, annoying.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we're about to find out. The boss key being on Child's side would then open up the question of when do you come back to do Twin Roba, if at all?
Well, we have to. It's our water medallion.
Oh yeah, I don't know why. I keep thinking this is Stone Spirit. I've seen a lot of Stone Spirits this season. Oh, there it is. It was the sunblock room.
Now you gotta push the block of shame.
I don't think it's a shameful block. It's just a stubborn block. It's keeping you out.
Every block has shame to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, if they didn't put wind in GTG, they'd probably be using it here, right? Well, I guess rockchalk is.
Oh, that might be bad.
That's a commitment. That's so we know Hover Boots is not very far into GTG, and rockchalk decided to set wind and cross instead of doing GTG. So now rockchalk's really hoping we don't have to go to Shadow.
Oh yeah, that was a really big commitment. Minor time save for a potential huge time loss.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Even Volc, who did find hovers in GTG, left wind for GTG, just in case.
Yeah.
It's possible that rockchalk's like, I'm almost 2 hours in. I gotta commit to the biggest time saves I can do here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if it pays off, it's time save.
Yeah, it is.
Really, really close. But there's one check left that can help rockchalk here, and we're doing it right now.
Yep. We can't see it on restream, but I just realized in rockchalk's tracker he marked iron boots on the path from Forest Temple, and iron boots were found in BC. I guess it's because he's slinging strength.
Yeah, because when rockchalk picked up those irons, he only had strength 1 and didn't have a logical bomb bag yet.
Oh right, he didn't want to have one logically.
So whether he's still thinking that way and has forgotten like where the bomb bag is or where the second strength is, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because he did pick up the logical first bomb bag when he was doing Lake Hylia earlier as adult before coming here. So he knows where that is, but he might not be thinking about that right now.
It's also whether they are actually tracking whether they've found 3 copies of that Bane path as well. Do they know that Forest Temple is double Bane path?
Yeah,
I think Volc does.
Yeah, Volc seems to be keeping that in mind. Yeah, we're just trying to gain some insight here on the runner's train of thought, because that will heavily determine what they're thinking.
Yeah, because I think rockchalk might be thinking, go get Longshot, go beat Water Temple, and Lights are just in Water Temple with those irons.
Yeah, at the moment, that time save, to chat's point, could put this race within, a minute of finishing from each other. Unless rockchalk's gotta go back for hovers.
That was a big Poe bottle, which we know is hinted dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Volc's gonna go into Shadow. I don't think we're gonna see rockchalk go into Shadow though. I think we won't be seeing. Oh, they might go Fire first and make sure they've got the long shot.
Yeah, rockchalk's definitely gonna go Fire first, not having hover boots, and it looks like Volc's playing Prelude.
Where are we going? Oh, burning
Burning
cack.
Cack? Yeah, okay. I was like, yeah, I guess this is the fastest way to get back to cack. But yeah, and then there's rockchalk playing Bolero, going to go straight into Fire. Now, with the items that we found so far, this has to be long shot. Fire to Morpha.
It could be strength 3.
Right, we got the fairies
long shot in
dead.
light trial. Could be in light trial.
But yeah, it could be in light trial. Pretty sure.
Where's the light again? Lights are in Shadow, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, if lights, lights are behind 80 or Shadow, which would be bad for rockchalk unless it is front, unless it's like one of the two checks.
Do light arrows.
Hmm?
That just said frogs 2 light arrows. It is AD.
Oh. I don't know how rockchalk comes back from this then.
No.
That's wild.
What a hint.
Yeah, and rockchalk's not going to get that until after finishing Fire.
No. And rockchalk's not going to beat Fire. Rockchalk, unless he's forced into it by keys. He's not interested in beating Fire Temple right now.
That's rough, buddy. Yeah, this is a very difficult situation rockchalk's put himself into by ignoring GTG, by wiping the wind that he set in order to save time and spirit, which to his credit, it did put him back neck and neck with Volc for the time that he lost, having to do Hylia and Hyrule field checks Volc already did, but he's traded for a much greater gap between the two of them now, committing to GTG being nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I felt like rockchalk was playing the seed pretty safe up until maybe the 90-minute mark, and now he's definitely getting more aggressive as the seed continues on.
Yeah, I have a feeling rockchalk might have thought that he had the logic and the paths figured out, and maybe flipped the switch and said, alright, time to play aggressive and play towards what I think is the right play. And we know that that's not going to work out. But the good news is we have like another hour left of Zuda.
Yeah, so you all better get comfortable. Well, yeah, not an hour, but we have some time. Because Volc's even marking his tracker as go mode. Since he's effectively a no mode at this point. He knows he has to do 80 to get those light arrows, and he knows that he will get his long shot in Fire. So he's just gonna be finishing it. But yeah, he has Shadow to do, which is like 15 minutes. Jabu's like another 10 minutes. He has to do a Fire, which we know might be a long. Oh, here's Boss Key right here. So he only has to go about not even halfway at Fire, really. So he'll spend another, like, what, 4 minutes in Fire?
Yeah, he can still get key locked. Needs one more key to be able to get to that big chest.
Yeah, so we're about, like, 30. We still got 30 minutes at least.
Yeah, and Volc has clicked the button, the go mode button on his tracker, so he
rockchalk's
knows that
two
it's
big
just
chests.
Oh, there's a long shot there.
Yeah, he knows.
Continuing.
Well, there's a second big chest in this room up in the Goron that's locked up in the high spot, so he probably doesn't want to leave it behind.
It's fair enough.
It's probably going to be like another bow, or maybe a bottle or something. He's probably hoping in his mind that it's hovers. Yeah, so I mean, other than bow duplicates and I guess second magic is still out there and strength 3, not too much left to find in this scene.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find second magic in Shadow.
Oh, the classic. Back Shadow. Specifically. Yeah, so I guess, chat, you can guess where everything remaining is.
Yeah.
That's always fun to do.
Oh,
double defense.
Bottles to find as well. I think we've only seen like one other bottle, maybe.
Yeah, bottles have been elusive this seed.
We saw one. There was one on Twin Rover.
And then we got Ruto's letter from CAC, but I think that's it. I don't think we've seen the other two. And then
Bell.
rockchalk, no.
Oh, there was one on Tempe.
Yeah, the slingshot was in Tempe. The third one.
Oh, right, yeah. That's right.
Now that Chad mentions double defense, I'm gonna gamble in my brain that this big chest is double defense. Which I think rockchalk will just save quit back to the bottom and go fight the boss at this point. There's no really reason to continue. Oh no, there we go, scale. Oh no, he's just leaving.
Yeah, he doesn't know it's AD yet, so...
Yeah, that's true. So he's gonna gamble on going into a water dip. Well, I guess he has long shot, so... The thing though is water can be pretty slow to check, especially if you do the left side. So he might spend some time in here.
Yeah, I think this will show us whether rockchalk is still following an Iron Boots path or not. If we find Bosky early and rockchalk continues, then yeah, there might be a misread on the logic, and it might just be because rockchalk has less information than we have.
Oh, absolutely, and it could also just be rockchalk's forgetting about certain things that Volc isn't. Like the double force path, and look, I don't know if rockchalk actually saw the other third one, but while it's one less than 3, we reached the 2-hour mark. Everybody, welcome. We want to, as we talk about our runners, we want to thank both rockchalk and Volc for streaming this very intense race of season 8. I also want to thank Hyper for being here with me today to commentate this, and then we want to thank our trackers, Procrastinator AT and Baseball, and double thanks to Baseball for also restreaming. And thanks to everyone for being us with here today on Zelda Restreams. It's been a really great race.
And thank you, Burrito, for commentating with me. This has been fun. We got the AD that we wanted, although it didn't come the way we expected.
Yeah, it was AD, but it was a surprise, but I'm happy to be here. I think this is my first AD of brackets. I think I commentated one in qualifiers, but I've avoided a lot of the AD 50 skull seeds so far. And for anyone who's wondering what AD stands for, it's an acronym for all dungeons, meaning that the runners have to complete all of the dungeons. Because to complete the seed, you just need to get the bridge requirements, which is Spirit and Shadow Medallion and Light Arrows. And then you need to get the 6 medallions to get the Ganon's boss key. So if they have to do the stones, collect the spiritual stones, then we call it doing all dungeons.
The thing is, like, chat is normally like pretty sick in the head. Let's be honest. They want like the worst case scenario in every seed they watch. I didn't see anyone pick Frogs 2 as an option.
No, that was not on my bingo card.
Oh.
I kind of discarded it, being like, I think what I got stuck on mentally is, whoa, pink bomb shoes. Sorry, that's cool. He also has like a rose gold like mirror shield going on. It's good. His tunics are just ugly. But what I got stuck on was my brain being like, oh, it's bottom of the well. And forgetting that Frogs 2 likes to be Frogs 2.
Yeah, I did say about 15 minutes in that I like to pretend Frogs 2 doesn't exist.
Yeah, this seed you can't.
I can't.
No. Light arrows are on Frogs 2.
Yeah.
And we need Song of Storms to check Frogs 2. It's not Hyper's fault, Lefty.
No, I'll claim responsibility. I spoke into existence. Fine.
Yeah, but you also evoked Magic and Ice Cavern, which probably made them happy, so it balanced out.
That's true. I did.
Yeah, I think it was in their minds, because I believe Frogs 2 is one of the guaranteed hints that gets generated. And as there's a set of as when hints are generated, you always have 5 path hints in these settings. And then you also always have 5 goal hints. And oh yeah, 5 path hints, which is the goal. And then your always hints are Skull Mask, Big Goron, so claim check, Frogs 2, Burning Kakariko, and Ocarina of Time. So we always have a Frogs 2 hint, and the runners haven't seen it yet. So getting it on the entryway to Nocturne, or to Shadow Temple after getting Nocturne, is very good. If that hint wasn't there, we definitely probably would see Volc after Fire Temple and Water Temple going, alright, what the hell?
Yeah, that would have been really confusing if we hadn't seen that hint and you went all the way through Shadow and got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to just forget that, oh yeah, Feeding Spirit locks Frogs too as well.
Yeah, because usually when you're like going to Storms, you're like, alright, I got Grottos to check, I got Bottom of the Well to do. That's a lot of checks. And then Frogs 2 becomes low on the list because at that point you've already gone to River, probably at least twice. And so now you're like, when am I going back to Frogs? That's kind of an awkward place to route in. I'm not going to worry about it. That's like last locationing for a lot of runners if they don't get that information.
Yeah. There's the boss key for rockchalk in water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Volc had to do all of Shadow Temple despite finding the boss key prior to the ferry, because of course it's Shadow Temple, it's going to make you go all the way to back to get that last key. Not having found second magic, though, it could be on Bongo. I have seen that in brackets. I've also seen a bow on Bongo in brackets, which is also a good joke. So there's still a chance for the Magic 2 prophecy to come true.
Yeah, it might be on Bottom of the Well, like you said. Loves to be in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess we were able to skip the manager. So manager could have had it. We'll never know. Unless we find Magic 2 somewhere else. So after finding boss key, rockchalk is not going to check the left loop, which is good, because it's Dark Link and then that whole left side takes a long time. They're just going to go complete morph and get out of here.
Yeah. Also, this room is the worst that rockchalk's
Yeah,
if you don't
get the timing the first time, getting it the second time's even worse. Like, you're just like, it's easier just to leave and re-enter. And I've learned that this room's now easier in Master Quest, as you have to shoot a switch above the door, but the switch has Master Quest energy, as in, sometimes you just can't hit it. So you're just walking around the bottom of the room waiting to hit the switch. Like, please hit it, please. Fast Bongo Bongo and Morph a kill, though, by both runners.
Yeah, clean kills. Execution's been pretty good all round as well, with both runners.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Bongo Bongo dropping into some arrows. Not too interested in that. That's true. That was even in the video I watched, to Cola's point. In Master Quest, the challenge is to not boss key skip, because you have to jump on a block and you know, it's pretty easy to skip boss keys in this game, which is why they are requirements. Otherwise, Randomizer would get a lot less interesting if we were just skipping all the boss keys. Alright, so Volc going back into Fire Temple, won't have to climb very far to find the boss key, and I'm sure once Volc finds boss key, gonna immediately find Longshot after that and be like, I am done here, and I'm gonna go beat Volvagia. And then it's gonna have to go finish up Water, and we'll see him go back to Chow to do Jabu. So, to chat's point earlier, Volc wouldn't have wasted any time going and doing a Baron Jabu. Actually would have saved a bit of time being up there, but that was over an hour ago. That's hard to call at that point.
Yeah,
so,
what a crazy move that would have been.
yeah, that really would have been some next level big brain gambling going on. Some would say that's God routing it, but in my mind, I'm like, they just gambled and came up good on that one. Getting DMC Fairy here for a nut. And then rockchalk is off to playing Requiem.
Yeah,
this might be a GTG return trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Just accepting your fate and saying, "Oh, I should have kept the FW there," but it was a gamble, and some people in chat mentioned that they liked the gamble, and maybe that gamble needed to be taken to pull back some time. But yeah, it just wasn't the right play in this particular scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my hope here is that rockchalk finds hover boots and leaves immediately. Volc did do the right side of Spirit after getting that partial, or GTG partially. They went into the room with all the dino flows, but I think Rock's just gonna leave after getting the boots. Again, our path hints are pretty strong in this situation. Like, once Volc finished Spirit, Volc's like, I'm in go mode, screw it, I know what to do.
Yeah, a bit of a sigh of relief for Volc. It's always nice when you're in these intense pressure 1v1 races. Once you have the seed solved and it's just execution from here, you can kind of just you either relax a little bit or you get even more tense, from my experience.
Yeah, that might answer chat's question of why isn't rockchalk checking the two first checks of Shadow first, because you're going to do those anyways when you're going in. I think the idea here is rockchalk's thinking check density and just wants to be like, hey, I gotta find where these hovers are. I gotta get into somewhere else here.
Yeah, I think rockchalk still. I don't know if rockchalk has all 3 Bane paths or took note that he found 3 as well. So he might still be pushing a strength 2 path.
Maybe.
That's why he checked them. That's why he checked the Crater Fairy, because he found the Hammer strength 2 locked. And yeah, going left side first, this is going to cost him time.
Mr. Mario and Cola, when do you save that energy? Bottle that up. Need it. These seeds are hot. And Gorant's tunics don't help. Ha ha ha.
Unfortunately, rockchalk did go into water. Unfortunately, the water filthy. So really needs like some laundry detergent or something like that to clean it properly.
What was filthy?
His tunic.
Oh, his tunic, okay. Got it, I didn't hear the first part, so I just heard rockchalk's filthy. I'm like, damn, dude, calm down. Yeah, so, let's see. Gonna get Golden Scale out of here. Love to see it. Yeah, I know. I was like looking. I was like, wait, did Volc not do the lower portion yet? Volc just went straight to the upper maze.
Yeah, I like this. I think he's just gonna drop FW here. Peek this FW, maybe. I don't know. It's always exciting when there's a big chest. It's like it's cool to show off like the hover strat.
Oh sure.
He's losing time in this case, but
I mean, at least it's not much time.
yeah.
He doesn't know long shots behind those doors, so. But to your point, yeah, I think rockchalk's just on a different logic path here, as he's just clearing out GTG full up. He did unmark Iron Boots though from his fourth path, so yeah, he's just chasing strength too. Yep. Volc's like, cool, I'm done here. Gonna put hammer, gonna go defeat the dragon.
Yeah. It's so rare as well that you get. I mean, a double path to a boss is fairly common, but a double path to a boss at the same location in Season 8, you really don't see that very often. So it's easy for runners to mistrack that and not realize that they've got a double path there.
Yeah, that's a. It's one of those things that's easy to forget that happens, especially if you don't find all three of those right. So it's not the first thing to come to your mind necessarily.
Yeah, like you can't see this on Restream, but Volc has his Forest Temple Bane path highlighted a different color, so I assume that means he knows there's two copies of them. Whereas rockchalk's is just the same as all the other hints. So yeah, people track it differently, but it definitely seems like rockchalk has maybe missed that. Yeah, it is an insane path hint. Yeah, beat Spirit for burning Cac so that you can beat Shadow for AD to get your lights off frogs too. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, like KD ate up 2 path hints. We could have got a much better like 3rd Bane path or something, which would have made it a bit clearer.
Yeah. And here are the hover boots rockchalk was hoping for, I would assume.
Remix.
Songs are hard. Also very fast kill for Volc over there on Fire Temple boss.
Yeah, very nice. Volc's been pretty clean since, well, the whole time, but especially once being in no mode as well. Just solid execution. Heading towards that finish line.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those seeds where understanding the logic, remembering what your hints were, remembering where your items were, and deciphering it in the way the seed wants you to makes a huge difference. Both these runners have been executing very well, and I don't think any of the decisions either runner has made were poor, given the information that they had. This was just a difference of, oh, force is doubled.
Yeah, one path, like, just completely changes the way you interpret the information, which is crazy.
Yeah, so Volc's gonna spend a few minutes here, but not very long.
Yeah, rockchalk's about to hopefully see this frog's. No, never mind.
Go back! Oh no, bro. He's just like, I might be behind at this point. I'm over 2 hours in. Hovers was in the front of GTG. Volc's probably already looked here. I just gotta kick this into upper gear and go. I already have a lot of hints. I don't want to read that.
And I think it's the only hint that rockchalk doesn't have as well. He's got everything else checked off.
Yeah, the one hint that would, clue you in. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, if you got like a Death Mountain crater to Bane or something like that, the seed would be so straightforward. You'd know, okay, Sunsong Grave is dead. Alright, it's rocks.
Alright, so we're seeing a Shadow Temple that we already seen. We know rockchalk's gonna find the boss key prior to the ferry, but rockchalk's gonna have to go back and visit at least one of the rear rooms to get the last key they need to finish. We might see the manager room, since rockchalk still might be, I'd like to say, lost in the sauce when it comes to the logic, so it might not abandon that check. We did see rockchalk leave fire, though, so they also might just be in the mode of, I just need to get through this as fast as possible. Yeah, so to chat's point also, what Fox is saying, the other frogs do hint could be at a nasty location, like, you know, Hyrule Castle 3, which is behind storms, or we didn't see back of Lake Hylia, or more hilariously, Webbed Cow Grotto in front of Valley. So, it might be the hint that tells you need storms if storm's locked. How cruel.
Exciting finish for Volc though. We get a foolish Jabu and Frogs 2 to finish off the seed.
Oh yeah. And there's no other way to finish out the seed other than with a bear and a whale and some amphibians. Definitely ominous seed energy in this late game of it. Yeah, I've not seen a lot of, to Virgil's point, I haven't seen a lot of Hyrule Castle 2 checks. I don't even think, did they even check Hyrule Castle 1 since they got the hint that fairies are dead? I don't think they even went there.
I don't think so.
They just went, I'm not going there for a hint, screw it.
Yeah, Hyrule Castle hints got checked a lot more often in quals, but when we moved to like the bracket stage, typically like people got a bit more aggressive and hints got skipped a little bit more. So
yeah, we've also been seeing more aggressive plays in general. So like I've been poking Hyper about his very aggressive I'm not doing skulls we ball strat in his most recent race, but I've seen that happen a few times in brackets. I've also seen some people take the idea of, you know, checking the more obscure places, like, screw it, I'm just gonna go do Valley. Also seen people play more conservatively in black brackets, choosing to orphan places more often, not coming up with a W because they didn't do weird stuff. You know, it's always fun to go to Gerudo Valley, be like, oh, my hookshot was just here the whole time, but I just didn't come here. So Volc getting a nice kill on Morpha. Had to put Morpha in the corner though. And then they're gonna be off to Child to do Jabu to get Storm, so they can go check frogs. So Volc's got like 20 minutes left?
yeah, I'd say 20 spare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jabu. I don't think Jabu's quite 10 minutes, but maybe travel time included, it might be. Gotta go get the song, walk to frogs, plus 6 minutes of Ganon's. Yeah, I think 20 is a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Get your guesses in chat. Exact time with seconds.
Yeah.
What's the finish time?
Your reward is satisfaction of a good guess. Yeah, a little bit of walking to do here at the end. But, you know, Jabu's not the worst place. Well, actually, yeah, we gotta go back to the castle gate, get storms, then walk over to river. That's kind of blows, huh?
Yeah.
Need some bold guesses.
Yeah, Frogs 2 is actually really slow. I forgot how slow Frogs 2 is.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 3 minutes.
It's just such an inconvenient spot. Again, it's like one of those locations where if you're not getting hints, it just ends up getting last locationed a lot of the time.
Yeah.
At least we get to see what's in Jabu. We know it's barren, but maybe it'll be funny.
I'm not sure we're going to see any chests in Jabu.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think we're missing what 2 quivers and the bottles and double defense.
Yeah. Have we seen fire arrows yet? I don't think we've seen
No,
fire
that's
arrows.
true. We haven't seen fire arrows. Yeah, since Rock's already decided to skip that hint at the Nocturne pad, I don't think he's ever gonna go get it.
No, I don't think so. Maybe if Shadow Temple comes up dead, as he spawns outside of beating Bongo, might check it then. Because really, this has got to be after Shadow. This will be confusing for rockchalk. If he's following a strength 2 path, hasn't really led to much else.
Yeah, he wouldn't have anything else to do.
There'll probably be like continue in Fire Temple or something like that.
Which would suck, because
Yeah.
I don't think he dropped wind there. No, he didn't. So he would have to climb again. So I think checking that hint, knowing it could save him some time, would be killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't finish fire, but also he stopped climbing halfway up. So if he's still like, I need checks, and he doesn't know all dungeons is required, I can see him just not doing Volvagia. Yeah, he does have the big boss key at least, so he has the option. And Volvagia is not the longest boss fight with bomb, so. What is long, though, is this elevator ride in Jabu. So that's the real question I know a lot of the racers want answered. Are we going to turn off the bottom half of Jabu and just put Rudo up top? I know some people would love that.
I hope so. Reasoning behind it, like, because obviously I was part of this discussion and decision process, was like we didn't want to remove like any parts of the dungeon. I know that loop doesn't like really like remove any item requirements, so that's a good argument for enabling Rudo on F1. But yeah, that was our big reason. We didn't want to take away any portions of the dungeon and keep it in place. And I guess there are like scenarios as well where having Rudo on F1 makes like maybe dipping Jabu a little bit more appealing. There's people like me that fall down the hole with Rudo and have to do it again, so there's time saved there for my opponents. And but yeah, I hope to see it enabled, but it's a group decision, so it'll be something we discuss for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Were there any other decisions you think that were in the quality of life vein? So I would say moving Rudo up is a quality of life, but like maybe a step further than obviously like pushing blocks is just nice. It doesn't change anything. It just makes pushing blocks go faster. Obviously Rudo changes things, but is there another quality of life option that would have an impact on the dungeon over than just going faster?
Yeah, probably the big one is starting with FW and maybe starting with Lens as well. A lot of people like that, but it does change a few things. Like if you start with FW, you can feel a bit more comfortable taking risks, like going GTG early if you find magic, because you can just drop FW there and you're not risking that travel time to GTG, things like that. So yeah, which League does all that sort of stuff. I don't know if they're doing it again for the new season, but League typically has a reputation for more of the quality of life settings, whereas main tournament is a bit more like minimalistic, starting with like the bare minimum and playing around like a certain base type of settings.
But then in that regard, would you say League would be easier for people who are more so beginners? I know there's Scrub League and other leagues get involved with, but would you call League a bit more of a middle step?
Yeah, I think so. Again, depending on what League's gone for this season, but typically League has been, yeah, probably that nice stepping stone between Scrubs and like the main tournament settings.
Yeah, that's good, because I know that there's a lot of new people always coming in and checking out Randomizer and the competitive formats of it, as a lot of people are familiar with Randomizer, but maybe less familiar with the competitions around it, and are looking for ways to maybe get involved or just play along with the rule sets, be part of the community in that regard. So yeah, there's Scrubs, and which is considered like the more beginner tournament, and there's been some big players who come up through there. I know Ryu came up through Scrubs, I believe. So that's definitely a place where champions are made. And then if you want to take that middle step, you go to normal league, and then if you want to join the main tournament later, you can also just, do Scrubs once, say, all right, we ball, and then just go to the main tournament.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't know Scrubs existed or anything like that, so I just jumped straight into the main tournament, got absolutely steamrolled my first qual, and had a good time.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a learning experience too, because then you also have the option of looking back on your streams, comparing it to the restream, because even if you don't appear on restream, because while we do qualifiers as our fourth perspectives instead of twos, and that's a lot of information you can get and learn from others, especially when these specific rule formats, because you might have a good basis on Randomizer from either just playing your own settings or playing like the default easy options that the Randomizer generator gives you. But sometimes there's specific strategies that become more potent in certain rule sets, like, not forgetting your foolish checks, or maybe just learning how to navigate the logic of the season, because that's always a learning experience for players.
Yeah, and each setting preset has its own meta or whatever based around either the hints or like the season in Season 8 is like the path prioritization. So it's always interesting to see like what the meta and like the routing sort of options become based on the settings that are picked for whatever tournament you're playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we were talking about this, I do want to point out that Volc's having a very clean Baronade right now and a really good Jabu. So that's basically as fast as your Jabu's going to get. And then rockchalk unfortunately did skip the hint outside of Shadow, but is intuiting that, hey, maybe I need to go do this boss. So we're going to see Rock do Volvadia, but still doesn't know that 80's required, but at this point Rock's probably thinking that it might be. But again, that hard information about Frogs too is really valuable, because let's say Rock had the time to catch up and do 80, which not sure. He might get into Jabu while Volc's in Ganon's castle, and depending what he does maybe after this.
Yeah.
But like say you do AD without that hit and you have Storms, Frogs 2 is not going to be on the front of your mind, most likely. Most likely it's going to be Bottom of the Well or even Grottos.
Starks, what happened here? Yeah, we got a Frogs 2 hint very late for light arrows. So we had to do all dungeons.
Yep. Nocturne was locked behind Burning Cack, so it's vanilla position, and then the only Frogs 2 hint we've seen has been the one next to Nocturne pad. So it took a long time to get there, considering Spirit was locking Burning Cack for us. Horus and Deku, easy, got those out of the way fast. But there's Volc getting Storms.
50 skulls was a bomb bag, but wasn't the logical first bomb bag. We had another one that came first.
Yep. So Volc's taking the long back walk over to River, gonna check Frogs, hop back to Adult, and then we're gonna start seeing Ganon's castle get cleared. I'm a little disappointed that Ganon's castle didn't come up sooner. It came up literally as late as possible as it could have been in the sea. After an all dungeon Storms to Frogs too.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Starting with a Shadow Medallion and DC being the Spirit Medallion, and we just don't have access to Ganon's castle until the end. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was taking notes earlier, and I wrote, start with Shadow Medallion and Spear Medallion. Being on King Dodongo means potentially early in Gan's castle. Then in parentheses, light arrows pending. So that's a good one. And the rockchalk's playing Serenade. Jabu. Just gonna go do Jabu, I guess. Because just intuiting might need to do 80.
Yeah, I think Rock's put that together. Probably not thinking Frogs too. Probably thinking bottom of the well. But yeah, following that spirit completion for Song of Storms now.
Yeah.
Volc looks like he's a sane person and plays the child songs in the correct order, which is I respect.
I think when I do it, I just look at my tracker and I just go down the list of the songs so I don't forget one.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to give chat this moment. You still got about 8 minutes, at least, I think, for Volc here to finish. In that time period, you can think of questions you want to ask rockchalk as... we have gotten confirmation rockchalk will be joining us for an interview once this is over. Volc will not be here. Maybe on the French restream, Volc will be there. But I already got the questions of... Homie, what were you thinking in Spirit Temple with the Lodge? And also, did you know about the Double Forest Path? That's top of mind for me.
And just a good time to remind people, we have communicated with the racers because this is on a 20-minute delay. So
yeah, rockchalk's not multitasking.
Right, yeah, we're not distracting them while they're playing.
No.
Fire arrows on Frog's one.
That's awesome.
Frog said both the elementals.
That's good. Well, again, we were talking about Master Quest earlier. That would suck in Master Quest, as fire arrows are important for some dungeons. In vanilla, not as important. Especially since in this rule set, Fire Temple or Shadow Temple with fire arrows is banned. You have to use Dins to get entry in this rule set.
Yeah, again, I know that's something that like race mods have been interested in looking into as well. I can't really speak on behalf of them, but I know it was something that was being tested prior to Season 8 and perhaps might get looked into again during the off-season of the main tournament. So, yeah, maybe we might see FAE actually come in. I don't know.
Yeah, fire arrows are cool. I like fire arrows.
Yeah. Yeah, give them more use.
Yeah, so now we're seeing the very exciting Jabu for rockchalk as Volc now enters. Ganon's gonna be walking on up.
Yeah, fire arrow entry for Shadow Temple. Currently banned, just to be clear. Do not do it in a race.
Not in a Season 8 race, at least.
Yeah.
And the decision behind banning that's mostly just for reducing the amount of tricks runners might need to execute, as I know Fire Temple entry can be a little tricky, right?
Yeah, I think that's one reason behind it. The other reason was it could completely remove like Dins as a required item type, and I think that was undesirable at the time. But we do have like options now for like an easier FAE entry as well, which like could be used as a consideration if it was enabled. But yeah, it's a big discussion point. Discord blows up whenever someone types the 3 letters FAE. So
the races are passionate, everybody. So get in on
Oh,
this. Join the sensation sweeping the randomizer nation of Ocarina of Time. Gotta put the parentheses in. Yeah, Volc pushing Salt and Pepper real good there. I have had a conversation about renaming them. But
Oh yeah, what would you name them?
well, I think I was talking to Chuckles about it. Top and bottom.
Wait, who's the top?
That was the debate.
I feel like Pepper's the top.
Pepper? Maybe.
Yeah.
My English language of reading left to right intuits it being salt.
Okay.
Ganondorf is bottom. Ganondorf is daddy. That's different. I haven't talked about this on Restream, but since we're watching Ganondorf, there are acronyms that get used within the randomizer community that sound similar and kind of are hard to tell apart sometimes, especially on Restreams. So common acronyms are IGC and OGC for inside Ganon's Castle and outside Ganon's Castle, which could be hinted. And that gets abbreviated by racers. And I think that makes, sense. It's just hard to discern sometimes. And then you have acronyms that like come close, like DC for Dodonga's Cavern. So the way I remember it personally is Ganondorf is daddy, therefore Ganon's Castle is daddy's house. So if Ganon's Castle is barren, daddy has no treats. And if outside Ganon's Castle is good, then Papa puts something on his porch. And that's how I remember it. So maybe that'll help somebody else too. Hyper's is dying.
I'm just like, oh my god, what am I listening to?
What? It just makes it easier. You're welcome, baseball. It's alright. If that doesn't make sense for you all, don't worry about it. I'm just a big acronym hater. I love saying all the words in one long string.
All right, let's turn our attention towards Volc.
I know he's fighting Gans now.
Baseball. I don't know if we have clean audio for Volc. If we could swap, that'd be cool.
Let me hear. Sounds pretty clean. Yeah.
Nice. It's clean, just like Volc's gameplay.
Volc has been having a very solid seed. I think the only trick that got missed was, I don't remember if he went for fast Phantom Ganon, but he killed Phantom Ganon fast regardless, and then had to put Morph in the corner instead of the door jam, but still a very quick kill. Or burning the bacon. Oh yeah, and the Baronade kill was very good, and which we're going to see rockchalk going to Baronade here. So I was right, rockchalk did make it through most of Jabu, but we're about to see the finishing blow here for Volc. Get right with your GGs.
And it was about 20 minutes. When we guessed. Very close. Alright, and GG's to Volc.
Yeah, good game. That was a very good race, given this seed threw a lot of curveballs with the logic and the routing that you had to do. There's a lot of opportunities to save yourself some time on backtracking, and there's a lot of situations where you're gonna have to backtrack. But let's pull rockchalk in here. All right, welcome rockchalk, GG.
Hey. GG rockchalk.
So share with us how you feeling about the seed today.
I honestly thought that was going pretty well, in my opinion. Outside of, I think I probably lost like way too much time on my execution today, because that was not very good. But I'm really happy with my routing. I'm happy with the choices I made. So I can't be too sad about that.
Yeah, we thought your play was very strong. And obviously a high 10 situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Racing against strong racers. Already this far in brackets. There's only like 8 matches left. So lots of nerves going on. But we did want to ask you a few questions. The first one being, we noticed that while you were in Spirit Temple, you had iron boots on your tracker. for the path. So what was your logic? Like, what was your idea at that point in the seed? As that was a pretty important point.
I just forgot where I had gotten irons, and I thought it was in forest, but I was scrubbing my VOD while I was in water. I was like, did I get iron boots in forest? And I did not get iron boots in forest, and I was like, okay, let's not worry about that.
Okay.
But I think at that point, even as I was going through water, I knew it probably wasn't going to be irons at that, or because I think I had already gotten 2 items that were not long shot locked in, or not key locked, I should say, in Water Temple, and the rest of them were key locked, which means it was most likely long shot locked. So I was not going back in there, regardless. But yeah, I just forgot where I got them.
That's
I got
okay.
the
You can
Forest
blame
Temple
that
in
on.
so late.
You can blame that on me. You were in. I believe you were in Forest while Volc was in Dodongos, and I even wrote down in my notes and said on the restream, "Oh, good, Iron Boots might be the path in Forest." And Hydra's like, "No, that was DC." I was like, "Oh, I was watching rockchalk, but then writing what Volc was doing." So you can blame that one on me. The second question I think everyone was wondering was, so there was actually 3 path hints for Forest Temple. So did you know it was double path for Forest?
I think I only got 2. I got there was one in Lake, right? And then I think there was the one in Open Grotto too. I think those were the only ones I got.
Yeah, the third one was Spirit Temple entrance.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. I did not read that hint at all. So
Okay, so
yeah.
that's what we were talking about while restream was happening. Was like, do players at this point decide to skip hints? So was that like your decision at that point? Like, I've got enough information, I'm just gonna play the game out from here and skip the hints.
Yeah, pretty much. I had a feeling Spirit was going to be important because of the one forest path in I got. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to rush Spirit, and then if nothing's in there, or whatever's in there, I'll just follow that, and then if nothing, I'll go back to GTG, and if I get Hammer, I'll follow the fire path, and so on. So I kind of had a plan at that point, because I had Hammer could have been anywhere, so. But I was pretty sure I wasn't going to get a hint for Hammer, so I didn't really want to push that at all. But that was kind of my main thought
did you end up
process.
did you end up finding out where the light arrows were? Did you talk with Volk?
Yeah, Volk, or I asked right as he finished. I was like, okay, are lights in the well? And then he said, no, they're on frogs too. And I was like, okay, that would have been nice, but looks like I was already behind anyways, so it wouldn't have saved me any time. Like, I think the only time it would have saved me is if I got that hint before I went to GTG, because if I know that lights are behind storms, then I'm looking for hovers instead of something behind strength 2. So I would have done right side first, because that's what I usually do if I'm not doing a certain path in GTG. So it would have saved me like most of GTG, but yeah, at that point I was already behind.
And the only frogs 2 hint we saw was Shadow Temple, like right outside the Shadow Temple entrance. So yeah, Volk got that, expecting something to maybe be in Shadow Temple, and then knew pretty much she was in go mode from there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of on a path of, once I got hovers, I was like, okay, well, Shadow's really the best play right now. If it's not Shadow, I'm just gonna do AD, because my thought process was, if it's the last 2 items in fire, then I've already lost.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, we thought your routing was very strong, especially early on. We liked what we saw. There was definitely a back and forth between you and Volk for a very long time. The difference really didn't show up until that Spirit Temple section, and then where logic was coming into play. And then Volk had a little bit more information. But like, to your point, it wasn't that big of a difference of information, and you intuited that it was AD by this point. But yeah, that was my point when I was talking to Hyper and Restream, where it's like, well, if you don't get that Frogs 2 hit, Frogs 2 is probably not the first thing you're thinking of. You're thinking bottom of the well.
Yeah, Frogs 2 was going to be my last one. I think I was going to do well, and then Kikiri Storms, DMT Storms into Frogs 1, and then if it's none of that, Frogs 2. So So yeah, I would have been last, but again, it looks like I was behind anyways, so didn't really make a difference. That's okay.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
this
it
is
was,
your. Oh, go ahead, Hyper.
I was just gonna say it was really close. As you guys were heading to GTG rockchalk, you actually went into Ice Cavern first.
Uh-huh.
But Volc already done some of the cleanup checks that you did after Ice, like Adult Lake and South Field.
Oh
So
yeah,
as you were doing those checks, Volc passed you, and then Volc dipped into GTG, and you guys kind of synced up again, heading towards Spirit Temple. So it was
gotcha.
interesting from a restream perspective, but when we saw the hovers and once we found they were required, it was pretty much we knew, it was going to be a pretty hard task for you to come back from there.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Was the bomb bag in Lake Volk's first?
No,
No.
Volk
Okay.
got Bombag fairly early. Did Richard
Oh,
pretty
okay.
early. I think at the end. So Volk didn't rush Deku Tree in his Child 1
Okay.
and went adult and rushed the SFM song because he knew that was Minuet.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he had nighttime. So when he went child, he did Richard and then played Minuet from there. And so got the bomb bag like a good 10, 15 minutes before you found your
Okay.
explosives. So that was a bit of an advantage for Volk just having explosives earlier than you did.
Okay. Yeah, with that Minuet thing, did he just like run to SFM from Temple of Time? Because the scale was in
He
Deku.
Yeah, he opened with CAC in his adult 1 and then ran out of CAC to Lost Woods.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And
Well,
that's
I
I
guess it
guess
worked
that's an
out.
example of that's an example of like the song hint giving information to
Yeah.
change someone's routing, which
Yeah,
doesn't
because
happen too often.
I guess you know that you have to walk all the way out there anyways, at some point.
Hmm.
So that makes sense. I just have never thought about routing it like that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely worked out. So
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I
that's I know. Oh, go ahead.
you're good. Go ahead.
I was going to say, unfortunately, I know this is your last match of season 8, but we were talking in the restream as we had a bit of time with the all dungeon setup. We know leagues coming up soon, and then random settings league. Are there any other leagues you're going to be participating in this year?
I might do League. I haven't done League in a while, but I kind of have a higher motivation to play OoT than I have in after seasons past. So there's a good chance I do League this year. But yeah, I'm happy with how season 8 went. Top 8 is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely showed up and played really hard this season, and we enjoyed watching you. So seeing you again in other leagues would be great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Rockchalk, I have a final question for you. Is there anything that you would like to see in like season 9 that you would be interested in playing?
Uh, I kind of like how things are right now. It's honestly, these have been my favorite settings for a long time. Um, Half of me is like, yeah, let's just run it back for season 9, but I know a lot of people get old of the same setting or get sick of the same settings, so I personally wouldn't mind just running it back, but I don't know. I'm open to a lot of things that aren't like ER. So I mean, as long as it's fairly standard, I'll play it and be happy. So I know that's not really a good answer, but just how I feel.
No, that's fine. That's cool.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today. So we're going to hand it off to Baseball, who's going to likely remind us that we have a hot race coming up tomorrow too, or the 23rd, Sunday.
Oh, we got a lot of hot races, so get excited. Tomorrow, for example, 12 MQ tournament, Kasinja versus Sly, 12 p.m. Eastern. We're still looking for a tracker, but that will be exciting. And then 2 hours later, the weekly race, which is Saws. Very exciting, standard anti-weekly settings. 2 p.m. Eastern. Also looking for a tracker. Hoping we can get that one on because I really like Saws, and I think it would be cool to get it on Restream. And then finally, Sunday, the match we're all waiting for, Mr. Mario versus Cola, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll type it in chat. And 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Mario vs. Cola, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll be there. You all will be here probably. Gonna be exciting. So we'll see you for that one. But not before I wrap up this race. Thank you to our runners, rockchalk and Volc. Thank you to our commentators, Hyper and Out of This World Burrito. And thank you to Procrastinator AT for tracking with me today. Oh, and thank you to iCola for putting on the French restream as well. Yeah, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow for more Ooter, and then we'll see you Sunday for even more. And I'm gonna send you over to What the Hell's Happened, who is playing Ocarina of Time Randomizer. But there's a lot of interesting settings, mixed pools, one-hit KO, and he only has 5 lives. So, hope you enjoy that. We'll see you later. Bye.